right. If you are joining this stream, skip ahead 10 minutes if you're on the replay crew and don't care about mic checks. Let me just start that timer so that we can let everyone know that that's exactly how this is going to work. Go. Yeah, so if you are on the replay crew and you're watching this, you don't need to watch all the mic checks. You can stick around. Sometimes something funny happens even without being planned, but you know, there's no reason to waste 10 minutes of your day if it's not the kind of thing that you're interested in. If you're here early, well, you aren't because it says no one's here. So this is just for you, replay crew guy or girl, whoever's out there. I'm only talking to you right now, nobody else. All right, that said, we've got about 9 minutes of audio checks. I think I've found a good balance, but it's still important to make sure we're getting it right. I've already uploaded a couple videos that were less than ideal audio, so I'm definitely cheating towards too loud than too quiet. Let me know if it is too loud for you in your streams. Do a little test read of the opening housekeeping messages. Skip ahead 10 minutes if you're on the replay crew and don't care about mic checks. Turn on all messages. We have 135 members as of tonight's show. There are no super chats turned on, just memberships. So if 99 cents US is too inexpensive, please gift a membership to another member of the community or other members of the community. Many members, many members, and help build the community. Anyone who gifts gets a free super chat. You can either type free super in all caps followed by your request or post a longer request on my community tab for a future show. There is 8 minutes and 19 seconds remaining until showtime. That was a mic check. Let's just have a quick peek in the chat and see. First off, if my video even shows up. D&D True Crime View Channel. Live. FAFO edition, Friday Night Ramble. That's me. There's the chat. Chat filter, all messages. And that's it. Nobody has chatted yet, so I haven't missed anything. Welcome to the two people who are here watching a little bit early. We have 7 minutes and 41 seconds before the actual stream starts. If you notice Atozy's on the screen, Atozy is... Big thanks to Atozy. I reached out and asked for some permission to show some of his videos to you in perhaps a longer version than would normally be copyright acceptable. He's given me the okay, so thanks to Atozy's feel free to do so. I'm feeling free to do so. We've got two criminals that definitely effed around and found out. One in the Philippines, one in Korea. If you're not familiar with either Vitaly or Johnny Somali, they are not on my radar as, you know, top criminals, but they are criminals that my grandkids are aware of. So if you want to have some true crime talks with your younger relatives or friends and family, they may be aware of Vitaly and Johnny Somali a little better than they are of Sarah, and then you can bring them into the Sarah Club. You say, hey, you like that? Come get more. Come get more. All right, so we've got a few minutes to go here. I'm just going to take a little hydration break and well, smoking hydration break. Take a peek back at the chat. Amy Salinger's here, working on my tax preparation. Ugh. Audio seems okay. Okay, good. So this is going to be the tone that I try and present at. I try and be a little bit louder. I do see I'm hitting the reds a lot in the, there's a little visualizer that shows, and it shows me hitting the red. But when I tried to tune it down so I was like in the green for a whole thing, I couldn't even hear it off of my iPhone. So that was, I knew would be no good. So we're going a little louder, and yeah, that's just the way we're going to do it. Better that you turn it down and you can still hear. It's not like I'm doing high fidelity stuff where you really need to hear my S's unpopped. 5:31 till showtime. Skip ahead if you're still here and wondering why you're watching 4 minutes of mic check so far. Yeah. let's just run through the different screens we have tonight. We're going to switch. This will be the first screen as the show starts. This is the first Vitaly video. That's the beginning of a Johnny Somali video. Oh, and I do have something special. If we need an intermission, we've got an intermission. So if we need a break for whatever reason, I've got something queued up. If not, it'll be a sneak peek at the end of the show. There is a video set to premiere tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. It's an interview I did with Derek Judd from Cowboy Criminology. He has written a book called The Monsters Have Always Walked Among Us. I just had a chance to read the preface. If you saw the morning video, we did the unboxing, so brand new book to me. I read the first few pages, asked him a little bit about why he wrote it, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. I think it's interesting, so if you stick around for the stream, you might get to see it tonight. If not, it'll be its own separate video tomorrow. All right, let's put this out. Let's get focused. Let's get maintained and focused here. Let's do another read through of the messages. Barry Adams, welcome. Is this now? This is now, Barry. It's happening. This is it. It's a little early for a Friday night ramble. It's because I have hockey to go watch tonight. So yeah, that's just the way it goes during hockey season. Friday nights are earlier or much later. I've debated doing a stream after hockey, but I'm a little fractious after a hockey game. Especially, we have a deal where the beer goes down $2 a beer if we score in the first 5 minutes, and you feel like you just have to buy more beer to support that. So yeah. La Tube. Enjoyed watching the replay of the morning show. Good, I'm glad. The morning show, for whatever reason, I just felt going into it that I, didn't have the right energy and was like, should I not do it? But anyway, I felt a lot better after starting, so that's a good sign. So now I know if I don't feel it, I can let the audience bring me up a little bit. So thank you, Lala. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Barry Adams. No, I don't think I'll be on later. Stick around because I'll be here for about 2.5 hours on this stream. We've got lots of content. I think I've got more than I can show you, but I'm queuing it all up, so that's what it is. Oh, let me get back to my pre-scroll sheet here. Okay, yeah. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Yeah, this pregame is only 2 minutes long, and then we get to the show. We're really close. Let me just do my opening announcement again. My best radio voice. Skip ahead 2 minutes and 15 seconds if you're on the replay crew and don't care about mic checks. Turn on all messages. You don't want to miss out from a message from a valued member. Speaking of members, we're up to 135 members, just 99 cents US per month. There's no super chats turned on, just memberships. So if 99 cents US is too inexpensive, please gift a membership or memberships to other members and help build this community. Anyone who gifts gets a free super chat. Either type in free super in all caps, followed by your request, or post a longer request on my community tab for a future show. There is 1 minute and 31 seconds remaining until showtime. That was our final mic check. Okay, so that was too loud, too quiet, anything like that. Let me know now. There's about 30 seconds for me to fix it. Lala's going to the dentist later. Okay. Well, this will be also full chat replay. It's obviously it takes, about a day for YouTube to get the chat to catch up to the video. So if you like the chat replay on your replays, just wait. My intention on uploading them on Fridays is that you can enjoy them all weekend long. So you want to go to bed listening to one, wake up and try and figure out where you left off. That's perfect. Billie Jean is aware of Atozy. Fantastic. Watch the playlist of the TikTok Psychic. Atozy, I really like his style. He's humble. He's informative. He's funny. He's not trying to be funny. He's just, has a good sense of humor. So, 30 seconds left. I can't just keep chatting. I have to bring myself. All right, here we go. Bear with me, folks. This is exciting, isn't it? The chow plates have been collected. Dinner and lull is over, so you know what that means. Let's get ready to ramble! I'm your host, Dandy. And we have a fun show lined up. That didn't go quite as smooth as I wanted, but yes, we have a fun show lined up. Thanks to the generous support of YouTuber Atozy, we have a fun FAFO stream for you tonight. Are those actually my comments on the side? Oh, perfect. I wasn't sure. I did this in a preview, and I was just scrolling random comments, and I'm like, I don't want to just put on random comments to make it look like I'm popular, but those look like my comments. Woohoo, I'm a real streamer. All right. Before we get to the Atozy stuff, just a few other things that we're going to look at up in the top window here. That's a screen grab from my community, and the reason I am promoting that is because there's a member of our community, member of this particular channel, that wants a new handle. They've got their first name and last name out there, and they're like, nah, everyone else has cool handles. Why can't I have a cool Sarah Boone handle? So we came up with 16 handles. This is the Sweet 16. And of those handles, they all got put into different divisions. So we're at the Sweet 16. It's March Moniker Madness. And the interrogation division it's the only one people want to watch. There's some great names here. We've got a three-way race between Not Compos Mentis, Know That, No Malicious. Big Bay Boone, there's a lot to like. I like the alliteration. I like that it sounds like Big Baby, Big Bay Boone. Just not getting the love, and it's a tough bracket. Like, I think any other bracket, Big Bay Boone might be performing a little better. 86 votes so far in the interrogation division. I bring that to your attention because in the Friends and Enemies division, only 51 votes so far. So I think some people think just vote for your favorite. No, you're voting in each bracket next week. Well, starting Monday morning, we're going to narrow it down to the final four. So whatever wins each individual poll, we'll put that up in the final four. Scoundrel Detective's looking great against It's Just Lana. Please, darling. And if you notice, Softspah, it's not much of a name. Half the team didn't even show up to the poll. So this is soft-spoken conclusion. May have done better if more of its letters showed up to the poll, but only 6 showed up on time. I guess the rest are being rerouted through Australia. In the Gimme More division, 8 is not enough. 0. Now, I thought that the Dick Van Patten, Willie Ames show of the 80s bring a little bit of nostalgia value, plus the fact that she had 8 lawyers and it still wasn't enough, so she's going through the appellate lawyers now. No love for that. And, at this point, it's tough to throw a vote that way because they really don't have much of a chance against Give Me Money. If I could, please. I just got those neck and neck and neck. So I think probably about 15 votes each. That said, only 49 votes in this division. So there's at least 35 votes out there from people who voted in the interrogation division that could help swing this one. Finally, we have the activities division. Strong lead from Kentu Sukaroi. What's what, how many is strong second. Still has enough room to make it up. We knew puzzled out versus the puzzles in the paint. Just the puzzles and paint. That's why I got the puzzles and paint. But yeah, we knew it would be one or the other. And with 0, it looks like people who are puzzle fans are going with puzzled out. That's just like state rivalries. You have your state team and the like Washington State and Washington Huskies. It's one or the other. You can't be both. So that's what's happening there. I encourage you to go to the community tab, check that out, vote in all the divisions, and then vote in the final 4 next week. So I think that... Oh, no, what else do I have to talk about? Cowboy Criminology. There is a video set to premiere right now. I did a quick interview with Derek Judd, who sent me a lovely care package, his book, little Bucky Ducky. I got a Bucky Beaver. I don't have it up here because Lola's not a fan of Bucky the Beaver, so I put Bucky downstairs. Got this don't mess with Texas mug. And keychain, all kinds of cool stuff. So anyway, Cowboy Criminology talked to me about his book, The Monsters Have Always Walked Among Us. And I did a reading of the preface, a quick interview with him. He's going to be joining the show as a guest next Friday the 13th. So tune in for that. I'm super excited. We've got an agenda for the beginning of the show, but then the second half of the show is wide open. If you have anything that you want to ask him about the videos I covered from him, what he's doing now, law school, what our plans are, all of that, tune in next week. Okay, we did that. So now, let me just check in with the chat just before I do it, because sometimes I just get too wrapped up in the pace of the show and I haven't even taken a look at what people are saying here. So sweet, that is my chat. Those are my name. Yeah, fucking A. All right, let's just, let's go back here. We see the show has started. Dan D's sounding all radio-y. Yes, A to B, a little tidbit on Dan D. I worked for one weekend in radio doing traffic and weather reports for a radio station in Squamish, BC, Mountain FM. If I remember, it was the sea to sky highways clear in both directions, but do keep an eye out for any wildlife or fallen rock that may be in the way. Give us a call at star 101 whatever. Now I'll throw it back over to, I can't even remember what his name was now. Anyway, that was what the spiel. I did it every 10 minutes. There was no problems in traffic, no wildlife or fallen rock the whole time I was there. Barry Adams got to meet Atozy at first with the TikTok food courier who broke into a man's house while he was... Yes, he covers the DoorDash girl. And yeah, maybe I'm just jumping straight into his videos, but I thought I planned to do a little bit of a channel review with him too. Well, let's... maybe we'll get into the channel review later. We'll get into the videos now. Atozy doesn't need my help. He's got 2 million subscribers, so I am so grateful that he even answered my email. I just reached out and said that I think my audience enjoys watching people who think they're special get shown they're not special. And I think Vitaly and Johnny are two perfect examples of that. And he sent me a message that said, feel free to do so. So this is it. Thank you, Atozy. I will... Oh, yeah, I've got a little scroll. Okay, yeah, we're going to promote him throughout the show. So thank you, Atozy. Barry Adams is from Oswego, New York. Oh, okay, so that's normal to hit the bed with... I'm going to read this in full. Being in Oswego, New York, as long as I am used to hitting the bed after too many without pants on my own sofa. She earned the charges she caught. And if you don't know the backstory, he ordered DoorDash, specific instruction, leave on doorstep. She found his door ajar, pushed it open, and then claimed to be the victim of his indecent exposure because he had his pants around his ankle. No disrespect for me, like, you're in your own house, you're just taking care of business, and if you fall asleep after it, then food's going to be fine on the doorstep until morning, or an animal will get it, whatever. It's not a huge deal. It is a huge deal if someone opens your door. Let's move on. Monique Wazega says, hearts to Lola. Let's give a little bit of a Lola shot. This is a peek behind the curtain here. There's Lola. Hello, Lola. Everyone says hi. All right, that's all. I can't give Lola too much screen time or the whole show is going to be about Lola. ADG Farside, I've decided that I am doing 2 lives a day every Friday. So they won't always be super long, but ideally there'll be at least 2 hours each. I'm going to try and go as early in the morning as possible and then as late at night as possible. Today, I slept in a little bit. There was no Corey Richards trial, so I took advantage of that and broadcast when that started. And yeah, and tonight I've got hockey, so I'm starting the night one early. But get used to Fridays. If you miss the Friday, just know on the weekend to look for the replays. And if you're not getting notifications, just get. I'm trying to keep a schedule to make it easy. So, no, you get your Friday A from Dan D. Care for JC YouTube says howdy all. She's in the house. Barbara King is here. Hello. Cowboy Criminology made it. Warming up to Bucky. No, I had to put Bucky downstairs, so Lola's up here, just being a showgirl. She wore a flower behind her ear and a dress cut down to here. All right. So we've doubled up. I'm going to enjoy this video along with you. This is Vitaly. Atozy sets it up well. He starts with the action and then gets back to a little backstory. So we will switch it over to that screen. The chat looks even cooler on the black. My God, that looks so pro. Okay, stop admiring yourself. Move on, Dan, move on. There's people watching you. You can't just watch yourself. Now, how do I start this? This is a screen. That's interact with it. This is play it.
Streamer just spent a good 30 minutes trying to go to prison in the Philippines simply for his live stream content. In just 30 minutes, he harasses dozens of people and ends up stealing multiple items just to gain some viewers on Kick. And if you don't recognize this guy, we're talking about Vitaly today, one of the original large YouTube channels who have completely lost their ways, yet again. Because him losing his mind has sadly happened multiple times throughout his career. The last big incident off of the top of my mind is when he randomly assaulted a jogger in Miami Beach. Since then, he's returned to Kick with these PDF file hunting streams, where he admittedly had some entertaining moments, like having Akon singing "I'm Locked Up" live to a...
That's pretty dope. I mentioned this in the morning stream. We did a bit of a preview, but to have Akon out there, "I'm locked up," and doing the jail song while a PDFer is getting arrested. Basically, Vitaly was doing a version of To Catch a Predator and was live streaming the guys getting busted. So we'll say this is peak Vitaly. This was as good as he got. It's all downhill from here. But yeah, pretty sweet, that.
A creep getting arrested. But these streams have also had some absolutely unhinged moments, which led to his whole team quitting on him. Now, there's a lot of speculation around why that is the case, but he did end up vanishing for a while and returned yet again. So he's joined the likes of Johnny Somali of going to Asia, where the culture is extremely polite, and they're just clearly taking advantage of their kindness by harassing them and pushing their boundaries, all for their live stream content. So he arrives at this mall in this really nice district in the Philippines. His cameraman announces that he's on the front page of Kick. So he wastes zero time and immediately starts...
And I'll just give you a little background, because I know Atozy's fans are probably super familiar with Kick. I barely know what it is, so I'm assuming most of you also barely know what it is. It's a streaming platform, but it's really geared towards who's got the most viewers at the moment. So, it's for like kind of kids' attention spans, middle schoolers. My grandkids, will watch this type of content anyway, not necessarily Vitaly. But yeah, that's what this... So it would be like if YouTube was only based off of who had the most subscribers tuned in at the moment, and that was the only thing you could get on the home screen unless you were personally searching up someone. So it encourages you to kind of be crazy in the moment, and we'll see how crazy he gets.
Acting out to keep that viewership.
Front page. Hey, chat, it's about damn time, chat.
There we go, chat.
Make your browser fast.
I don't want to make my browser fast.
Make
Leave
your
it the way it is.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I have a very important question for you. No, this is for documentation team about Philippines. I have a very important...
This is the thing that annoys me too, of I don't know, maybe it's just a personal thing, but people who have a foreign accent, or even will take on a foreign accent to kind of do these prank streams, and almost like the Mike Myers. Schwinkter says what? I made you say what? Like, it's pretty lowbrow. Pretty lowbrow.
Important question for you. Can I shove this up your...
What?
Can I put this in your... It's a called a new video game, Mario Kart Infinity 360.
This is a 33-year-old man harassing mall security for his live stream content. But unfortunately, just like basically all my other videos, it's all downhill from here. This gets so much worse. And things get so bad that I wouldn't be surprised if he would be arrested by the time this video gets released.
So this video is about 9 months old. Part of the reason I'm showing it to you is there is more recent footage of the find out part of the fuck around. So in the description for this video, after it uploads, I'll be putting links to the current videos that Atozy's done. And in the meantime, we'll be streaming his back catalog because it's kind of fun knowing. It's almost like watching the Sarah interview. It'd be super infuriating. Like, we couldn't watch the interrogation if she got away with it. But knowing that she gets arrested at the end, knowing that she's got life without parole, it's, you know, there's a satisfaction in watching it, no matter how out of sorts she gets during it. And now he's on the mall security's bike. Nice glutes, so Barry Adams points out.
Hulihin mo. Hulihin mo yan. Hulihin mo yan. The cop doesn't want to do anything. He's just,
why does he not react?
Because he's mall security, not a cop. He has the key, so he knows you're not really going to get far, and you have a camera rig filming you, so I'm sure he's pretty unsure on what's going on right now. And also, he's in the Philippines, where mall security aren't used to degenerate content creators like they would be at Rodeo Drive or Lenox Square. But I guess he saw what Johnny Somali was doing, and he decided, I'm going to try and one-up him. Because this whole situation just gets so much worse.
He's not chasing me.
I know. He's too nice.
Boss.
Barbara King says, is this the guy Hear Me Out talks about? I don't think this is Lauren. I don't think Lauren's ever been outside of the country.
I want you to chase me.
To chase me.
Can I have a hug? Love for you. Do you mad at me? Okay. Look at that. Sorry. I'm gay.
The girls are in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Barbara King, if seriously, this guy's name is Vitaly, and Vitaly. He rose to fame as an internet prankster in the United States in the kind of the early days of YouTube, and yeah, has had his ups and downs since then.
Boss, this is. Explain to him. This is.
Explain.
Hey, tell him.
You might also be thinking of Johnny Somali, Barbara, and if that's the case, we're going to be watching some Johnny Somali vids too. Exact same sort of motivation, same stupid content, and same satisfaction in watching the find out part of the fuck around.
I have a retardation. I'm autistic. I think he's pissed. Let's get the out of here.
He looks pissed.
He looks pissed.
We've entered a very depressing era of IRL streaming, and I have a feeling it's just going to get so much worse until these platforms start enforcing public harassment rules. Harassing strangers in public to clip farm, that shouldn't be allowed on these platforms. Because I'm worried this is just going to motivate other morons to see the tally streaming for like 3, 4, 5,000 people and go, oh, if I just run out and be a burden to society and live stream it, I too can get this amount of views. This is all just starting a terrible trend.
What does Chad say?
They were. I heard him in my language. He was calling the other dude, and then some people with cameras were like, "Yo, are these vloggers or something? They need permits." Blah blah blah.
Oh, shut the up. Permits like my. I was born in this world to be free.
So that's why you want to go commit a bunch of petty crimes in the Philippines for some live stream content? Definitely a country I would not want to be locked up in. But he's now in, from what I can tell, one of the nicest parts of Manila. So I'm assuming they're likely going to be way more lenient on tourists because they would assume that these tourists would be rich if they're in that area. And if anyone's wondering, he's about to run into the Bonifacio High Street Mall to continue to harass people.
Right, Chad?
So really high-end mall that he's going to here, and I think he makes a good point. Like, he's getting all kinds of deference just because he's a tourist, and people are kind of confused. Like, he's acting like he's allowed to do it, so they just assume he is. I see Billie Jean in chat knows nothing of Vitaly or his exploits, so this is great. it's just he's going to piss you off, and then you're going to be satisfied by the direction it goes.
That's what we are.
That's right.
They're like, this guy.
Who, me?
No, that dude.
Yeah, this guy, bro. I was just having fun, bro.
The dude had a walkie-talkie.
That probably kept one viewer
Yeah,
online.
this is pathetic. And apparently front page content on Kick.
So if your kids are watching Kick, maybe keep an eye on what they're watching. That woman in the green kind of jacket or blouse that's over top, she's part of his crew, if you notice her in a lot of the shots here.
Oh, God, bro. 15 shots of espresso.
So the giggling you're hearing, that's the girl in green that's part of his crew. And I think, to make it sound funnier on the live stream, but it doesn't work for me. Gary Adams, I'm all Walmart tonight.
Oh, man. This guy used to be a pioneer on YouTube. If I recall, he was like one of the first creators to have a movie that was in theaters nationwide. And
That's
now
crazy.
he's harassing strangers in public in the Philippines for attention on Kick.
I'm gonna eat your dog. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. How much to sell your dog to China?
I'm about to sell your dog to China.
Being delusional and surrounded by yes men is a dangerous combo. But again, all of this is to farm viewers, and as he acts out in public, the cameraman keeps announcing how many people are watching.
Damn, you're at 3-2, boy.
What is that?
3,293.
Huh? 3,000 what?
3,293, because
3,293 people are watching him do this.
you're still on front page. Wow. That's crazy. Failed.
So you imagine there's a significant portion that are only watching like, well, he's going to get arrested, something's going to happen. And that's probably, what they bank on for this kind of content.
B-boy.
I just broke my back.
Oh.
And I'm sorry, if you've ever wondered if I'm like rich and pretending to be poor, no, I'm poor.
Oh.
Yeah, we're definitely
I'm within
living
my
in a
means,
Black
but-
Mirror-esque dystopia where people will do anything for just a little bit of attention online. And it's just so gamified. But he then spots another security guard.
Down here.
I'm gonna steal his hat and run away. Bad idea?
Bad idea, but no, that's on you. Bad idea, but
Arrested or no?
maybe.
Excuse me, sir. Security, come here. I have a question for you. Can I give you a kiss? No, I have a question for you.
Like, these aren't well thought out pranks.
Get pranked, bro. This is tragic. I mean, the only thing that's funny about this is how pathetic he is. This is really what we're doing right now?
I'm the new general in town. Child, they down in
They say keep it, speed run, jail time.
Boss, I want to change. I'm sorry. Can I change? I'm just kidding. Sir, I'm joking. Sir, listen to me.
Yes, sir.
Dispatch. I'm a homosexual. You should probably go.
That means to turn it off.
But you're going to turn it off, right?
No, it's
Let's
not.
get out of here because they're calling for backup.
So, what's the over-under that he gets arrested for harassment in the Philippines before he leaves? I don't know, but he's just getting started. And of course, he's live streaming all of this, so he's his own star witness. I just wish American creators would stop traveling abroad and make...
So there's another Sarah Boone parallel. Not only is he recording his crimes, he's live streaming it. He can't even delete it. Like, even if there was the chance of deleting it from your phone and deleting it from the cloud and deleting it from the Celebrite, or Cellbrite, whatever. They keep calling it Celebrite. I'm sure it's Cellbrite, right? Anyway, but yeah, you live stream it. It's out there. There's no deleting it when you've got 3,000 people. Probably not a lot of them are screen capping it, but someone might be.
Making an absolute fool out of themselves by being a burden to whatever society they're in, as they are slowly but surely completely ruining the reputation of Americans and creators. And it's sad to see because it's probably 1% that ruins it for the rest of us, but they end up running and also continuing the antics while escaping.
I want to scare somebody, but
They're too nice.
everyone's too nice here. I like it though. In Russia, I would have got knocked out already. If I did this to a cop in Russia.
Yeah, here he admits that he's only doing this in Asia because people are just too nice and he's taking advantage of this. But then he sees another security guard, runs up to him and passes gas on him because apparently he wants to act like a child to amuse his child fan base. I'll cut around that clip because I don't want to have this video nuked, but this is what happens around that bit.
You have a problem? You have a problem?
Oh.
You have a problem?
Oh.
You have a problem? You have a problem?
He cut the fart.
Yes. No. What are you gonna do? Hello. How's it? Hello.
He cut the fart out.
Hello. 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 Paparazzi, you are best in us. On a paparazzi. Paparazzi. Papa.
That's his cameraman. Hold on. That's actually probably a better screen grab than or what we want anyway, because I don't want it too clear. But yeah, so that's the guy. He's carrying like the selfie stick, doing the recording.
Razzi, you are my queen. Paparazzi. You're following us. Bye. Papa.
I have to say that hat looks pretty sweet for if you're working in the heat, and maybe Cowboy Criminology can weigh in on that. Have you ever seen any law enforcement hats with the open mesh top? Like, I can imagine that's got to be that would be really comfortable in Texas.
Paparazzi, paparazzi, paparazzi,
This way. That way. Shangri, that way.
Are they following us?
It's safe to say that popular streaming content has gone downhill very quickly. But after whatever that was, they run into another mall and start stealing.
Ready? You ready to run? Ready to run. I'm ready to run. There's an army of them. They're following the street.
Shangri-La's on the other side.
Run, bro. Faster, bro.
Yeah, A to B in the classic principles speech from Billy Madison. We are now all dumber for having watched that. Anything you've performed is no way near anything resembling a prank, humor, or something funny, and we are all dumber for having watched it. It's the price we pay.
They won't recognize me.
They're gonna call more security with that one.
It's fine. I look like a different person.
Well, great disguise, Vitaly. Yeah, they'll never know.
Oh, dude, they're gonna call security because you got that.
This is just fascinating stuff to live stream yourself doing in a country you really don't want to go to jail in. What's honestly surprising is Johnny picked smarter countries to do this kind of antics in. Japan.
I'm going to take a quick second to point out behind Atozy here, that's like, the baby playmat with roads and whatnot. His is custom. You can order them off of his channel and get a customized Atozy roadmap background kind of thing. Whatever it is, that's he couldn't find a good enough one buying them, and he found it was easier to make his own, apparently. So there's a little plug for Atozy.
And in South Korea. The Philippines can be a lot tougher on petty crime, but it seems like he had his cameraman return this item.
Give me the camera. Give me the camera. I'll see you. Give me the table. Give me the back. Yo. Give me the back, yo.
It's not a flattering angle for his
I'll take
nose.
you. I'm gonna get out of here.
But I'll follow you.
Chat, too much fun. Hey.
Pasensya na.
Paparazzi, you are my. Hey, beautiful lady. I just want to tell you one thing. Look at me. Say hello, Chad. Hello, Chad. Are these your followers or no? They're just because that off or just more security?
More secure.
Oh, they can be.
And cops.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are they followers?
No more.
No more.
No more. They're here.
Cool.
Like, I'm marrying them.
Yeah, let's go. I don't want my mom to follow us, but come on, dude.
So the cameraman, if you heard, was no more. He wants to stop now. Vitaly, obviously pushing it.
Dude, this is my stream, dude.
So he then, yet again, starts to flee. And when they say, hey, you're going to get arrested, this is how he acts.
I want to get away from my mom. Yo, you need to speed it up.
I have a 134 IQ. I make less money than friends who barely passed high school. Here's what I find.
Mom, stay away. I'm married. Keep my mom away, or I swear to God.
Fuck you
Things
and your
gonna end bad.
134
I'm gonna get
IQ.
arrested. Oh no, mommy. Oh no, mommy. Oh no, mommy.
Think he has mommy issues? I think Freud could spend a good week and a half with this guy.
I'm gonna get arrested. Get out of here.
Well, and that's another point. So he's here in the Philippines with his mother. And, you know, that's who he really is talking to his mom. She'll show up. But yeah, to even like, you know, why would you even risk you're on a trip with your mom, you know, internationally? He's not the brightest bulb.
Oh no, I'm gonna get arrested for stealing a hat.
We're probably going to see a bunch of Asian countries make tons of IRL streaming laws quickly because we've seen this problem in now Japan, South Korea, Thailand, and now the Philippines. At some point, the music will stop. But Vitaly finally realizes, oh, wait, I might actually get consequences for this.
Well, what's the charge here? Will they arrest me or the cops will just tell me to stop when we get arrested?
It might.
I'm a tourist. What are they gonna know? Okay, they arrest me. Is it like a bail here?
Like disturbing the peace.
Yeah, that's the whole title. Will I get out?
Yeah.
Will I get out of jail next day or no?
No, I don't know.
Oh,
I have no idea, bro.
Well, how about this? Turn the light off. No. I was kidding.
These are all questions that he should have asked before he started doing this shit.
Excuse me. How do we get to Shangri Hotel?
Shangri-La. Here.
Oh,
to the
fuck.
garden.
That's the last thing.
This is the way.
Yeah, but look who's outside.
Yeah, but dude. Right?
I'm gonna swear to God, man. What you gonna do? Beat me.
Shangri-La is here.
Shove it up, man.
Pasensya na, kuya.
But they don't give a f.
Yeah, here.
It's my mom that's making it. I got it. That's it. I know where we're at.
You know where we're at. All right.
Yes, so chill. That's it. It's my mom.
So because they didn't immediately detain him, he gained a sense of security. So he immediately continued harassing people for his content.
How many viewers we got?
4,900.
4,900. Let's break the 5K, chat. Excuse me. Madam.
Sorry.
I'm going to rob you if you keep walking away. I want to give you money. No? Okay.
No.
Okay, because you got a COVID mask, you liberal. Go get your vaccine.
I'm going to rob you. I want to give you money. Oh, because you have a COVID mask, you liberal. Go get your vaccine. I think the screen grab on Atozy speaks exactly what's on my mind here, too. Wow.
What was that clip? Are you serious? Oh, let's get over 5,000 viewers. Let me threaten to rob someone. Then when we scare them, let's try to give them some money. And when they run away, let's throw a temper tantrum. 33 years old, and this is how he's treating elders. Dude is beyond pathetic.
I was trying to give you money, but all right. Trying to be nice to her grandma. Yo. Go around and film this lady. Just go around. Just go around in front of her and zoom in.
Barry Adams.
I just wanted to say hello.
What a man-child. I mean, if Kick doesn't ban him for the stream, it shows they're picking favorites because he's definitely right up there with Johnny for harassing people on the street for content. But he's not even close to being finished yet. Let's live stream ourselves stealing a fan from a business while we're at it.
That's my only fan left in the chat. Come on, come in front of me, bro. Since I don't have any fans, since I fell off, my only fan, bro. Coming through. You want to get knocked out? It's coming through. It's my only fan left, bro.
The mask they at least returned, but the fan, they're just straight up stealing it as a funny bit for their live stream content.
Excuse me, sir. I buy this from the store.
Shangri-La po ito. Saan po yung Shangri-La?
Doon ba sa room, sir?
I buy this in the store. What? Come on. I stayed in my room number.
Room number, wait, sir. I will.
Bro, this is my fan. I bought it, okay? Bye. Bye. Come, Sky.
Billy Jean, I believe, is asking, please tell me that he ends up getting arrested. There are some consequences even by the end of this video, but like I said, this video is a few months old, so I'll be linking the more current videos in the description, and you can see what's going on with him now. But Philippines is not the kind of place you want to mess around with the legal system. We'll leave that as an early teaser.
There's a problem. You can talk to me later. I'm hot.
Shangri-La po, nasan?
Yes, boss. What? I stay here. Can you mute it?
So it seems like he goes on to state his room number and then has his assistant bring that fan up to his room. And then he goes on to say that this shouldn't be a problem of him filming inside the hotel because of how much he's paying for the hotel room.
The villain arc is back. Demon time.
Saan po Shangri-La kuya? Shangri-La?
So, bro, I know where we are.
Okay.
Don't you want to scam me?
Ooh, damn, this is cardio today, chat.
Cameraman again.
Ain't that some
Hold
shit?
it, film it.
All right.
Boss, let me see.
Oh my God, so many laws have been broken today.
Dude, he's so cool, man. He's on demon time. Watch out now. Watch out, guys. Vitaly is on demon time.
Demon time.
And they both start running around the house as fast as they can and jumping over the couches.
Yeah, I would be sweating too if your boss is on demon time. And the demon time in question is stealing hats, masks, and fans and acting like a child while abroad.
I'm spending $1,000 a night per room. They're going to tell me I'm not allowed to film here.
So, Billy Jean, one of the things I will say is this very coverage from Atozy, this went up and kind of blew up. You know, he's a big enough streamer that he does a video and people see it. The Philippines government saw this video and started watching him the next day. So that's a reason why we might want to stay with the Vitaly stories. If you're struggling to maintain interest in him, it gets better.
Buddy, you are not special.
I'm having fun with the chat. I know what I'm doing. It's not my first rodeo. And I'm not going to say, oh,
that's
don't
his
arrest
mom.
me. Here's the money. I will go to jail. I'm a proud man. I love jail. I get it up to be there for free. I don't have to pay.
This will definitely be interesting to see how all this plays out.
And if the cops come, call me, warn me. I'll jump off the building. I have the parachute.
That'll go well.
He's a chat fight by then. It's an entertaining stream, right? I told him I would give him the best IRL. They didn't believe me. Wait till I go to India.
So he says it's an entertaining stream, you know, not judging for everyone who stays. I love that you're here. I'm getting about a third of the people that I normally get on a Friday night. So I wouldn't say you're all that entertaining, Vitaly. You just have found your audience.
Yeah, Russia.
The question is, though, will Kick and other streaming platforms enable this behavior? It's kind of like he didn't learn anything from Johnny. He then spends the next 30 minutes or so harassing restaurant staff. But at this point, it's all repetitive. It's all bad. There's nothing too much more I can really add to this video without dragging it on for too long, but I really hope that we don't see more of this behavior. But unfortunately, I have a feeling we will. I had no idea that Vitaly became this pathetic, but I guess here we are.
It wasn't until I found a community that I was really able to make any kind of lasting change or really even hope that change was possible.
Casey, welcome to the U.S.
Double ads, that's unfortunate.
This scumbag
There we go.
IRL influencer can now...
Okay, so we'll decompress now. You see scumbag influencer here being led away by police, so we know the second video includes some comeuppance for this young man, this young 33-year-old wayward youth. Yeah, let's just stay into it. If you guys get sick of Vitaly at any point, kind of start acting up in the stream, give us Johnny. Johnny's just as annoying, but he might be a nice change of pace from Vitaly. We'll switch back and forth, and when you need a little bit of Dan D and Derek Judd content, I'll switch to the 15-minute book reading and interview, because I have that lined up. So we can do that at any point. Here we go. Let's just watch a little bit more here.
I'll be facing up to multiple decades in prison in the Philippines, all because he live streamed himself harassing strangers in the street, mall security guards, and stealing multiple items, including a mall security bike. Obviously, we're talking about the case surrounding Vitaly, who's an American-Russian YouTuber who was one of the largest prank channels back in the day, who unfortunately lost his mind and ended up serving some time due to horrifically attacking a jogger in Miami. But recently, he came back to the internet. And he's came back to the internet a few times, but in the most recent time, he decided to come back to the internet and essentially be a knockoff Johnny.
So this is kind of nice. Now anyone who's been here, all of this, you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. So yeah, each video becomes a little bit more familiar, where you can kind of like, okay, so those are the highlights. What's the new news? Let's go.
He's Somali for some reason. And in his comeback, he was definitely not wise when it comes to picking the country to be a nuisance in. The Philippines. I don't know why you would ever want to come to the Philippines and go live with the title Disturbing the Peace in the Philippines, as that is probably one of the last countries I would ever want to have that title in my stream, let alone go around and harass people and then steal multiple items while live streaming yourself doing so. It's like the influencer version of Darwinism. And his actions are definitely catching up to him here now, because he was just perp walked out in front of the entire country.
There you go, Billie Jean.
Remulla will now make a statement.
Yeah, the smirk he had during his arrest and mugshot, that's completely gone. Dude, he was warned multiple times. He didn't care. He just openly embraced going to jail in the Philippines on his stream. And now he's in even more trouble than what I think he's ever been in his life. And that really, really sets the bar when you look at his situation that happened in Miami. Because if you have a horrific attack on your record and somehow you're in more trouble than what you were then, oh boy. So what are they charging him for?
Vitaly engaged in multiple disruptive and inappropriate acts, including attempting to kiss and grab him, trying to seize his service firearm, taking videos of him without consent, mocking other security guards, and vlogging without a permit in BGC.
Blogging without a permit.
Also, on Vitaly's latest video in BGC, nakita siyang sumasakay ng patrol motorcycle na walang abiso.
Oh, wow. There's just a whole plethora of charges here that can be disastrous for him. They're also talking not just fully English, they're speaking tag-along with English, which I think they call Taglish. So I had to transcribe a lot of this to actually understand what is going on, and then run it through ChatGPT, and then have ChatGPT essentially tell me what they were saying. So it's not fully spot on yet, but that's what happens when we're trying to break this news. So here we have, I guess, the charges against Vitaly, which aren't 100% set in stone from what I can tell, because he just kind of threw out a lot of the things that happened that they're investigating him for. So first you have unjust vexation, which is engaging in behavior that caused annoyance and distress to others. Then you have alarm and scandal, which is actions that disturb public peace and order. Then you had attempted theft, which was trying to unlawfully take a security guard's firearm. That's a serious charge. That is, did this happen after my coverage? Did this happen after he was arrested? I don't remember that being on the stream that I skimmed through. That is a serious charge. Then you have the 2 counts of theft if they go after him for taking the motorcycle and the industrial fan. And then also that face mask, but they returned the face mask pretty quickly. So we'll see what they do there. Then you have the threatening to rob an old lady as well. But what I didn't know until now is apparently if you steal a motorcycle in the Philippines, you can actually get up to life in prison. And this is all due to a newer and stricter law they put in place around 2016. Now, will they get life in prison? There's no way. But the fact that you would even go to a country and do something that can get life in prison, there's no in prison. And this is all due to a newer and...
In the Philippines, the theft of a motorcycle, or carnapping as it is known, can lead to significant penalties under RA 10883, the new Anti-Carnapping Act of 2016, with potential imprisonment ranging from lengthy terms to life imprisonment for aggravated offenses. So I imagine that's if you're part of, like, you know, a car theft ring, and, you know, they catch you, they could give you life in prison for that, which is a good sign of why you don't want to be doing disturbing the peace prank content in this country. Life in prison for aggravated carnapping offenses. All right. Point of interesting fact.
Stricter law they put in place around 2016. Now, will he get life in prison? There's no way. But the fact that you would even go to a country and do something that can give you a maximum of life in prison is insane. I am seeing multiple locals say that he could be facing up to 24 years in prison, as it's up to 12 years for each of the counts of theft there. And that's just the theft cases alone. And then you have all these other charges up here as well. So will he get this amount of time? Probably not. But I don't think he's going to just leave the country next week, to put it lightly. It seems like they very much so want to charge him. So then they go on to say that charges also stem from incidents where Vitaly is seen grabbing a security guard's hat, attempting to seize another guard's firearm, and threatening to rob a woman in Bonifacio Global C. Now, Secretary Ramola, who is the guy that essentially had him perp walked out there in front of the whole country, now he said that Vitaly will not be deported immediately, but will remain in the Bureau of Immigration Detention Facility to face the charges filed against him. He also emphasized that no special treatment will be given, stating that we're done with foreigners who only insult Filipinos. This is an example that we are serious here in our country, and we won't let them belittle us. And they also stated that authorities are seeking Vitaly's cameraman, who may also face charges for enabling a commission of crime. This is a stark contrast from what we've seen Japan do with Johnny Somali, and now maybe even South Korea with Johnny Somali, as they seem to be playing way more softball with him there. In the Philippines...
So a little spoiler, Korea got a little more into hardball more recently with Johnny Somali, but again, this is an older video, so probably be it was only a couple of days after the last upload, but yeah, probably 6 to 7 months ago.
They're not messing around. They had him perp walk down in front of the whole country within a week of an arrest. Within the week of him doing it, they arrested him right away. They arrested him 2 days after my video on him. They arrested him on the 3rd of April. Now on the 7th of April, they're having him perp walked out in front of the entire country saying, hey, we're going to make an example out of this guy.
Real Mod. Prime quality tuna.
This looks so much better than it actually is.
Great taste, eats little.
Like, looks super flaky and stuff, but in reality, it's like a really oily
Real
chunk of...
The real taste of Italy.
That's what you get for advertising on my
you
streams.
love with Wix. For your words?
This is not okay. This is crazy. Why, as an influencer, would you ever go mess around and do this kind of content, especially not in your home country? Fair enough if you actually understand the laws of the place that you're in, but still, please never do stuff like this, because again, I want to live in a world where I can walk around in public without having to worry about being harassed by an IRL streamer. Is that so much to ask for? And I feel like
No, 100% no, Candace. So Candace asked, would you do that for clicks and views? And no. Like, I'd much rather stream, like right now it says we have 17 people in the room. Thank you for being here. It's, 16 more people that I can usually get to listen to me. So I don't need 4,000 people that want me to fart on a security guard to maintain their interest. Like, that's not what I'm on YouTube for. So, yeah, Billie Jean agrees. Awful tuna. It looks kind of nice, like that perfectly symmetrical spiral and like the, but yeah, it's awful. So screw you for advertising on my stream with your shitty tuna.
Everyone in the world deserves that very basic right. If you're out in public, you shouldn't have some IRL streamer harassing you to try to get some sort of reaction so they can monetize it for their live stream. It's just not acceptable. But continuing, it says Vitaly's actions have drawn significant criticism and authorities are committed to ensuring accountability for his conduct in the Philippines. Here's a little snippet where he says that Vitaly has to take accountability for his own content.
People have to take responsibility for the content they create. It is not a license to shame or to hurt or to besmirch anyone. A vlog on social media ay may kaakibat na responsibilidad.
But then Vitaly gets in trouble during the press conference because for some reason the dude just can't stay serious even though his freedom is literally on the line here. Bro's freedom is literally at stake. And speaking of the other stake, he's also now banned from Kick.com. So that stake deal is gone. He has officially been 404 as he was so worried about becoming.
Bye-bye.
Before we give our next question, may I just remind Mr. Vitaly to respect the secretary while he is speaking and not say anything or gesture anything that is out of the ordinary. Thank you so much. So may we call up...
So he's behind the guy, and where do I point? I've got to point the opposite way. He's behind the guy, and doing little hand signals or ooh, so disrespectful.
On Mr. Rambo from DZXL.
Oh boy, that is the stare of a man who wants to put you under the prison. Vitaly is in for a rough time.
Under the prison. Love it.
Who would have known that harassing people and just making an absolute fool out of yourself and I guess the platform that you represent would get you banned? I feel like it's pretty obvious, but I guess people need to be made examples of so others will learn. Because at the end of the day, no one wants this. And not even Kick wants this because Kick does not want to risk being banned in a whole country. So they're just going to quickly ban and get rid of whatever streamer that causes a commotion like that. But then a journalist asked if Vitaly is allowed to speak.
Good morning, Secretary. Jess Cruzat from ABS-CBN News. May I ask if Mr. Vitaly is allowed to speak?
No, not today. Only in the formal inquest.
All right. Okay.
I mean, you could see Vitaly's disappointment there. This is such an insane situation that's just so incredibly self-inflicted, like so many of the other stories that we cover. Why would you ever do this to yourself and to other people? But something I was not expecting was being credited by the police for arresting him or for finding out about this. Because here a day ago, the Taguig City Police Station posted criminal charges filed against YouTuber Vitaly over viral BGC incident. The Taguig Police Station has taken swift and divisive action in response against a viral video involving Russian-American YouTuber Vitaly, who is now facing multiple criminal complaints following an incident at Bonifacio Global City that drew widespread public outrage. Authorities immediately launched an investigation after receiving reports from local residents and security personnel who allegedly harassed the foreign content creator. Police gathered statements, reviewed complaints before the city's prosecutor's office on April 3rd, 2025. They also coordinated with hotel management and local establishments in the area to secure evidence and ensure accountability. The incident stemmed from a video posted on April 1st, 2025 by the YouTube channel Atozy, titled "Scumbag IRL Streamer Destroys His Life in the Philippines Live." That title aged very well now. Was not expecting to see my video in an official police statement, though. I just saw his live stream and I was like, there's no...
Oh, that'll be the day when a Dan D true crime video gets mentioned in an official courtroom statement.
Oh, wait, this guy's this stupid to be doing that there. So I made a video on it. The video, which has reached over 600,000 views, shows Vitaly aggressively approaching and filming people in the street in Taguig. Vitaly, 32, was reportedly staying in a hotel in Fort Bonifacio during the visit. On March 31st, around 11 a.m., he was seen walking along Bonifacio High Street where the incident took place. He was caught on video confronting several individuals while making live streaming content for social media. According to reports, these affected include security guards and workers in the area. One guard said that Vitaly forcefully pulled his ID from his neck. Another worker said that the YouTuber took his hat without permission, while a third, also a security guard personnel, claimed that the foreigner tried to grab his service firearm. Yeah, okay, so I mean, that is a serious charge. Recognizing the suspect's foreign nationality, the Taguig police also coordinated with the Bureau of Immigration to determine possible violations of immigration laws. A formal request was sent to the BI for updates of the YouTuber's current status for guidance and further action. Taguig authorities have issued a strong reminder to all visitors and online content creators to respect local laws, warning that actions meant to harass or humiliate people, whether it's on camera or not, can have serious consequences. The Taguig City Police Station assured the public that they're continuing to monitor the case and are committed to protecting residents from similar incidents in the future. I mean, shout out the Philippines for handling this so quickly. And also, like, this should definitely not scare anyone from going to the Philippines because they want tourism there.
In fact, yeah, that's a kind of, lets you know that it's almost a good place to go. Like, if you're the type of person who likes to follow rules and travel, then, you're not going to get fucked around by people who like to fuck around with. Yeah.
They just don't want people to be live streaming and harassing people.
Hey, another one.
It's very easy to go visit a country and not act like the town. That's crazy being in an official Filipino police statement. Shout out to all my Filipinos. I love you guys. I'm currently in a different setup, as you can see, because I'm currently traveling to go to yet another crazy influencer trial. I guess we just do that now. I've had a lot of fun doing it. So here we're going to another case tomorrow, and I have to get up at 5 in the morning. It's currently at 2:41 a.m. So I won't be getting too much sleep because I have to drive for a couple hours tomorrow to get to this court case because it is in the middle of nowhere. But hey, if this...
I admire a guy who keeps those kind of hours. That's I really like this guy.
This video gets like 75,000 likes, I might fly out to the Philippines as well to go to Vitaly's trial. But
I think he does. I can't remember if he did or not, but he definitely goes to the Philippines because there's video of him basically retracing Vitaly's route and all the shit that he did. So, yeah, good for Atozy. Great content. That's the end of this video from him. But what I think I'm going to do, because we're at the hour mark, I have an intermission video. It's a about a 10-minute interview with the Cowboy Criminology's Derek Judd, and then a 4 or 5 minute reading from the preface of his book. So I think I might set that up so that I can refill this coffee cup that I've been drinking the dregs of without finishing. And it's gone. So I'll refill my coffee. I'll start that. Move that over. Oh, we've started. No, we will start. Hi, I'm Dan D. Dan D. True Crime. Okay. I'm here with Derek Judd. Derek Judd is the author of Monsters Have Always Walked Among Us. Derek, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me, Dan. I appreciate it.
Cheers. Why don't you tell us a little bit about why you wrote this book?
So Monsters was kind of an interesting project to work on. When I was trying to decide whether I was going to go to law school or go back to school and get my PhD in criminology, Monsters started off as a doctoral thesis, like getting ahead of a doctoral thesis. But I had so much fun. I got so into the research, and there's such a want and desire for true crime. And I thought, this didn't need to be contained to just academia. This is something that really needs to be shared to kind of give a different perspective on why we think about true crime, how we think about true crime. And so that's
Lose mic.
That's how it came about.
Okay. Oh, your audio improved significantly there too. Fantastic. One thing I noticed reading just the preface, and I only got this book a couple of hours ago. We opened it live on my stream. The connection to mythology, and it's something that I didn't think about when I think about true crime. I think mythology is the other end of the scale, but just in your short preface, you really tie the two together. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so, when we think about mythological monsters or superpowers, one thing or another, you have to understand that mythology, like anything else, like any other lie, fairy tale, fable, there's some element of truth in that. So something had to start the myth. And when you kind of trace your steps back and you start with what the myth is and work backwards to, I call it playing the numbers in criminology. You look at a case, you look at a suspect, you look at one thing or another, and you work it back to what the most likely avenue was to get to that point. And with mythology, and even comparing the mythology and the monsters to serial killers, it was amazing how quickly and pronounced those distinctions became.
Interesting. Okay. Who would you say is the target audience for your book?
Wow. I've had people in academia look at my book and were impressed with it. I've had attorneys who have gotten my book and been just very impressed with the legal knowledge and the legal analysis that went into that. True crime people will enjoy it. Historians will enjoy it. I mean, it's really, you kind of look, if you look at the cover, what monster do you see in that book? Yeah, what do you see? Do you see a vampire? Do you see a werewolf? Do you see a zombie? Do you see something else? The book, I think, applies to, or I think the book could appeal to just a very wide audience. It's not written specifically for anybody, any one group in particular. I think there's a lot of people who could get a lot out of it, but I think true crime people would probably get the most out of it because I think it could help them better understand their fascination with true crime, how we've come to recognize true crime. And there's a lot of different elements in that book that really kind of get rid of the background noise. And like the tagline for my channel is getting to the truth behind true crime. And I think this book is a great introduction to people who want to cut through that white noise and just get to like the heart of it.
Okay, great. And it seems like it's written both at a level that an expert in the field can appreciate, and still accessible enough that your casual true crime reader can enjoy it as bedtime reading, a little chapter about a monster to set you to sleep.
Right, yeah. That was the important thing. I wanted it to be accessible. I didn't want it to be so dry and academic that people outside of that environment would completely lose interest. But I wanted there to be enough scholarly citations and things like that people just, it's not just an opinion. It's not something I'm just pulling out of midair. These are actually sources you can cite, you can look to and go, oh, wow, this is actually, there's something to this.
Okay. And getting to that, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and what expertise you're bringing?
So my background in criminology started kind of at an early age. My grandmother was murdered in 1988. Okay. And I spent a lot of time thinking about what kind of person would do this to somebody who'd never done any wrong to them. And because I was a very shy, very reserved child, I spent a lot of time picking up on social interactions, human behavior, learning how to read people. And that kind of carried forward into wanting to know more about psychology. But for me, psychology was kind of boring. But forensic psychology, criminal psychology, abnormal psychology, oh, now we're getting into the fun stuff.
Okay.
And so I started working, I was originally doing new home construction in Las Vegas, Nevada. And when the market fell out of the housing boom, I came back to Texas. I was trying to find any work in construction. Nobody was hiring. I needed a job, so I started working at the prison. I started working in a maximum security prison. In my book, Monsters, I actually talk about my encounter with a serial killer in prison, a guy named Charles Albright. Very interesting case. But I became more and more interested in how people become criminals, how people get caught. And I became a police officer. I was always looking to expand my knowledge. And then I got my undergrad degree in criminal justice and my master's degree in criminal justice with a heavy concentration on criminology. And after that, I started putting all that to work for me and started to do a lot of independent study. And along with that, I've read, I've read probably most of the interviews that have ever been done with Robert Ressler, John Douglas, Roy Hazelwood. I have many of their books. I've watched a lot of their interviews because I think they're really onto something with their understanding of criminal behavior. And so that's kind of carried me forward. And, I teach criminal justice and criminology as an adjunct professor. So that's kind of wild. My students get a thrill out of watching my videos, and a lot of my students have purchased my book. I don't require that, of course, but they purchase it. So it'll be weird when I'm sitting in class and one of my students who doesn't really ever talk flips through pages, and I'm like, your book's online, what are you looking at? And they're like, in your book you say, and they'll read off a line and everything, and I'm like, so I've actually started keeping a copy of my book near me when I start teaching, in case my students try to call me out on something, which is just really wild. But yeah, so I just combine my education, my experience, my training, and it's helped create Cowboy Criminology.
Yeah, no, that's a really unique combination to have, the streets experience, the law enforcement experience, the personal tragedy experience. So it's an incredibly unique perspective, and I think there's a lot of people who are interested in it. So if you're interested in it, tune in. Next Friday is Friday the 13th. There's a lot of monsters associated with Friday the 13th, and I think it'll be a great start for me and Derek to kick off a little discussion of the themes of his book. So thank you for being with me, Derek. I look forward to talking to you next week. Is your book available on Amazon?
It is available on Amazon, and I'll send you the link that you can post into your channel and on your chat.
Yeah, we'll look for it in the description, and it'll be a pinned comment underneath. Thank you for spending some time with me, Derek. I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.
Thank you so much for having me, Dan.
Cheers. I'm just going to take a minute to read from the preface of Derek Judd's book, Monsters Have Always Walked Among Us. If someone were to ask you what mythology is, how would you define it? Today's society relegates the well-known tropes of mythology to disproven or ancient religious beliefs. These stories become ingrained in everyday conversation, such as referring to a deadline as a Herculean effort, or discussing a woman so unattractive or strikingly beautiful that she will turn you to stone if you look her in the eye. The list goes on. I have always found the most accurate definition is that mythology is a way for people to explain the world around them. Mythology also serves the purpose of controlling social behavior. Today's scientists have done a remarkable job of explaining the world around us. But what of those things beyond explanation? Why do seemingly good people commit evil acts? Do people snap? Does evil possess them? And if so, is it because of this hostile possession that these poorly afflicted individuals react in a manner they never would? The mythology definition I offer the reader may be better understood if I ask you this. Think back to your childhood. How did a parent, sibling, loved one, or friend explain something to you? Was it reassuring and kind, or was it ominous and frightening? Thunder was the sound of angels bowling. Raindrops, they were the tears of angels. Freckles were kisses from an angel. What about Santa Claus, the rotund and jolly symbol as the bringer of toys under trees and stuffer of stockings at Christmas? Or his Scandinavian counterpart, Kris Kringle, who knows if you've been sleeping, when you are awake, and if you've been bad or good. If you are naughty, you'll get a lump of coal in your stocking instead of presents. Nowadays, we have an elf on the shelf that keeps sentry over children during the holidays and magically takes leave of the home every night to report on the children's behavior in the house. Of course, in some countries, St. Nick is accompanied by a mischievous companion that metes out disciplinary beatings to unruly children. Did you have trouble staying in your bed at night? Were you told a monster would snatch you by the ankles and pull you into your worst nightmare if you got up before sunrise? Were you warned about the monster that hid in the closets to keep you from snooping, or who would grab you and take you away from your family forever? Fearing the dark, when I was young, my dad would tell me, "There is nothing in the darkness that is not there in the light." While I'm sure he meant it to be reassuring, it still echoes in my ears on nights when I'm restless and cannot sleep. Nights when my imagination overrides my usually logical and well-reasoning mind. So, with that in mind, what we have discovered in our short time together is that mythology not only helps explain the world around us when we cannot fathom any other explanation, but we have seen firsthand that mythology can be used to control behavior by giving warnings of what befalls those that do not heed to the moral of the tale. Moreover, in that last sentence, we genuinely begin our exploration. Now, my little children, find a cozy spot, turn the lights down low. Let the light of the fire or lamp make these words glow. Take up your drink, smuggle down tight, and do your best to ignore what goes bump in the night. And first chapter is chapter 1, Serial Killer Origins. Look forward to more of this with my discussions with Derek Judd. Oh, that's it. That's almost it. It says Amazon link in the description. It'll be in the description of the video that premieres tomorrow. It'll be in the description for this video once I get around to it, because I'm streaming right now, so I can't do it. All right, we're coming back to Vitaly. There we are. I'm back. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I might play it again at the end of this video too. I think we've got probably an hour and a half at least that I can stick around. At least an hour and a half. So maybe we'll run that one more time at the end of this stream as a chance for people to say goodbye in the chat. If you've seen it before, you know you can go. If you want to stick around and watch it again, it'll be there for you. And yeah, that's where we are with that. So has everyone had a chance to sort of stretch their mind, kind of recover from the Vitaly stupidity? Are we going to stick with Vitaly? There's 6 more videos in this series, and I think at least the next 2 were ones that I wanted to show. But that said, Johnny Somali, he's got some stupidity of his own and might be worth watching too. So let's go. Oh, if we go V or J. Okay, well, at least it's not a V or G, but because it would look like just Vag, but Vorj. Vitaly or Johnny? I have my coffee. I've got my medical snack, which is the same style of muffin that I had this morning. It's got pineapple, coconut, and carrot. A morning medley. Doesn't matter that it's evening. It's got all the nutrients I need to sustain myself during a stream. It's funny looking at the AI summary for one of my videos. One of the suggested questions was, what is medical snacks? So I clicked it to see what it thought medical snacks were, and a very robotic. It appears that this is food that the host and the viewers uses to sustain themselves during the stream. The host said something about forgetting food last time, and it led the stomach to growl. So it implies it's for hunger. It's like the humans, they eat to sustain themselves. One possibility for doing an audiobook, Derek brought up, would I do it? I do have a separate channel called Dan D Reads Public Domain. I've taken a couple weeks off it because I've been kind of overwhelmed with learning how to use the new MacBook. I'm working on a documentary, Sarah Boone documentary, so you know that's a whole hassle. That's going to happen though. I'm probably further along with mine than the original documentarians are with theirs, so I've got that. But yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So things are falling behind. I'm getting fractious. I'm not able to take care of 50 things at once while remembering the other 50. I'm doing like 30 things and remembering 20 more, but one day I'll get back up to the 50-50s. Okay, so Billie Jean doesn't know Johnny either. She's easy. No, that came out wrong. Don't worry, nobody thinks Billie Jean is Johnny's lover. She's just a girl who said that I am the one. That kid is not my son. Dude. Okay. Let's just see where the next Johnny video goes. And then we'll decide if we want, or the next Vitaly video. And if we are like, okay, this is rehashing it, then we'll go see Johnny. Here's Johnny. But this is Vitaly. Did that work? That didn't work.
See something
Wrong? Do
what's right.
I love when the ad.
Oh boy, well, I don't think things can be too worse.
Just a little. If you're going to do an ad on YouTube, you have to assume only the first 5 seconds is going to get watched. So put the product in the first 5 seconds. Like, if you guys remember, there was a commercial for. It was a headache remedy where you put it directly on the forehead, and the reason you remember it is because it was called Head On, apply directly to the forehead. Head On, apply directly to the forehead. Head On, apply directly to the forehead. In a 15-second commercial, that phrase got repeated at least 3 times. And they would probably repeat the commercial like at the beginning and end of every commercial break. But yeah, that's what I don't understand with YouTube advertisers. Like, why are you going to do a 3-minute long ad that's skippable and not mention your product in the first 5 seconds that people have to watch? Anyway, that's my rant about that.
Worse for the absolute moron of an IRL streamer, Vitaly, as the president of the Philippines just made a reaction video to his incredibly stupid live stream. If you live stream yourself committing several crimes in a foreign country and the president of the nation reacts to it saying, hey, we're not going to be lenient here, what do you even say to that? I guess it's just safe to say that you're in for a bad time. Obviously, we're talking about Vitaly, one of the original pranksters on YouTube who completely crashed out in the worst way possible by attacking a random jogger in Miami. Then came back a few years later and actually did pretty well streaming until his entire team left him. Now, you can speculate why that would happen, but eventually, he decided to fly out to the Philippines and join forces with another kick streamer by name of Sly Kane, who's a Filipino and actually is currently wanted, but this is the guy who filmed him while he was being an absolute moron in the Philippines. And these actions range from stealing motorcycles to crashing a tuk-tuk, threatening to rob a woman, stealing multiple security guards' hats, stealing an industrial fan from a restaurant, stealing a red light mask from a vendor, and harassing dozens of people. And actually, now there's more things that came to light. So more charges will be added shortly because
Another thing I'm going to point out about Atozy. There, okay. I'm starting to be like the weather girl where I know where the opposites are. Anyway, one thing Atozy does well is each video where he's coming back to a subject, he keeps narrowing down the summary of it. So new viewers can still pick up where he is. But if you're like us and, binging on a bit of the content, you're not watching the exact same 3.5-minute breakdown. It's like, now it's a 30-second breakdown with the key scenes. So just from editing perspective, I'm very impressed with the way he does that.
The thing about these IRL streamers is they live stream themselves committing all these felonies. So all the prosecutors have to do is just sit and go through all of their streams and charge them accordingly. Overall, just a terrible idea to do this in a country that has their jail cells that look like this. A few things have happened since we last covered the situation. More clips of Vitaly acting like a moron in the Philippines have resurfaced, as already stated. Clips of the jail that he's been held in.
If we're lucky, this is the other clip. Another streamer kind of confronts Vitaly on the streets, and it's also a very good karmic moment where you feel like, oh, fantastic. I'm glad this happened. So if you stuck around this long, there's a little reward in that bit of video too.
Has came out. The president has reacted to his live stream he's facing 24 years in prison for, and his cameraman seems to be on the run, as he's wanted for questioning, and he's live streaming on Kick rather than turning himself in. So We have quite the video today, but let's start with the president. So on April 14th, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. sat down and reacted to Vitaly's live stream. And here he had quite a few...
Well, the president did a live reaction, so now we're reacting to Atozy reacting to the president reacting to Vitaly's live stream. This is very memento.
Things to say about Vitaly.
Give me your scooter now. Give me your scooter now. Give me a ride. No. Yes, you're gonna take a ride.
Well, this is different.
Ang isa pa nating nakita ngayong linggo, yung kagalit-galit na pinanggagawa ng isang foreign vlogger sa ating mga kababayan.
I'm gonna rob you.
Biro man ito o hindi, sino naman Pilipino ang hindi kukulo ang dugo sa napapanood natin? Hindi nakakalungkot dahil ito isang naging bahagi na ng social media na nagkakaroon ng mga vlogger na nanggugulo lang.
So this is the son of Ferdinand Marcos, who famously his wife, oh, that's Johnny Somali. Good pause. Well done, Dan D. It's a little sneak peek at Johnny Somali in case you're curious who he is. Ferdinand Marcos was married to Imelda Marcos, and Imelda Marcos had more shoes in her closet when what happened? Did they just lost the election, or they got deposed? Whatever it was, she had more shoes in her closet than I have owned in my lifetime. Imelda Marcos.
Nang aasar lang, nang buwisit lang, nang babastos lang. Para
oh yeah, so that was just a slideshow of idiot in real life streamers, and I managed to pause it on Johnny Somali. So, oh my God, did they really spray paint? That looks like a naval boat with the kick logo. Like, what are you gonna do for attention? What are you gonna do next?
Kakuha ng mga viewers.
Yeah, if you have the president saying who wouldn't be mad at that behavior, there's a low chance of him actually being let out anytime soon. It's kind of dystopian to watch a president of a nation address degenerate IRL streamers, but I guess 2025 actions will have 2025-like reactions.
Huwag tayong sasama dyan sa ganyang klaseng ugali. Hindi naman ganyan ang ugaling Pilipino. Asahan ninyo, yung mga gumagawa ng ganyan, hindi natin pababayaan na patuloy nilang ginagawa.
Tapos na po ang mga dayuhan, akala na lang, kaya na lang napastangin mga Pilipino. Ito ay ehemplo na seryoso tayo na sa sariling bayan natin. Hindi tayo magpapabasa sa kanila.
The government just announced that Vitaly will be used as an example to show the world that they will not tolerate this behavior.
If you're going to court in a foreign country, you do not want to be going as an example.
I think Vitaly somehow has landed at the top of the list when it comes to social media Darwinism. He essentially let his hunger for clout completely destroy his life.
That's a great phrase too, social media Darwinism. Well done.
Or extremely little upside. And the dude clearly was in absolute denial even after the press conference when they perp walked him out in front of the entire nation. By that time, he had already been to that jail. Is he not valuing his freedom at all, or is he still in denial? Is he like, oh, okay, I'll just be in this holding cell for a couple of weeks and then I'll be out? Unfortunately, that's not the case with him. Meanwhile, his cameraman Sly Kane is now on the run. He apparently changed his hair color from pink to blue. I guess that'll really make him blend in. And as I said previously, he's currently wanted for questioning. But the complete moron is spending his time IRL streaming. The dude is literally showing where he is on a live stream, and I guess he's on the run. This might be dumber than the people who are running from the cops and live streaming on Facebook the police chase. This is very similar.
I've
it's
seen
kind
that.
of baffling. I guess just certain IRL streamers are just some of the most fascinating criminals because
like, whoa, I'm in a lot of trouble. I bet people would watch this. Let me stream it. I'll need some income stream once I'm in jail for this bullshit.
In their right mind would live stream all their crimes and then live stream themselves on the run. Like, you would think this is a parody, but I guess this is just the new reality. Meanwhile, more footage of Vitaly's behavior in the Philippines have now just came out.
Follow me.
Wait.
I need toilet, please, toilet, please. I'm about to take ay, caca. No. This is not how you make the burger. Show me how you do it. Don't worry, brother. I got it. Don't worry. I'm the manager. My name is Vitaly. McDonald. Ron McDonald.
And
Yeah.
they lived sweetly ever after.
Okay, this looks delicious.
They can deep fake your accountant.
I like this one too. We're gonna leave this one on. This is just about. Oh, that's funny. Of course, I want to leave an ad on, and all of a sudden it's like, we'll give you the 5-second version. We know nobody watches the whole things. The long version of that ad is just showing how easy it is to deep fake. It's a British Columbia public service announcement, but it's different versions of the same person. Well, and some of them aren't very good versions. With things that are wrong with them. They might have 3 fingers or 7 fingers. And anyway, it's just a little public service announcement not to trust everything you see. So good for the government of BC for helping keep our eyes wide open.
Atozy was filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Imagine adding trespassing and disruption of a business to your criminal record in the Philippines for a terrible joke on your live stream. Dude must have just been way too used to living in LA, as he just assumes by default that there will be no consequences as long as he doesn't commit a serious crime. But then to make things even worse for himself, he doesn't end the joke there. He continues to harass these employees and then steals the food.
The manager told me to cook. We need some salt and pepper. Don't make me look for it. All right, motherfucker, I got some.
Here's zero.
Salt, give me salt.
Sir, no that. No that.
Can I have salt, please, sir?
Here's salt, sir. Salt and...
Sorry, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry.
No, and that's a great point in chat. Like Billie Jean says, geez, I mean, some of these people are actually afraid. How is that funny in this day and age? And exactly, it's not. If I was, I remember working as a minimum wage short order cook. I was like 15 working for a place called Burger Brothers. And yeah, if a grown man came behind the till and just started, taking over burgers and stuff, like, I'd be afraid. I'd be like, what the hell is going on here? Who are you? What's going on? Like, yeah, just not cool. And you'd think that you were getting robbed or something, like anyone who's in the area that they don't belong and acting like it. Like, so the fact that it was harmless afterwards doesn't change the fact that you're scared when it's happening. I'm thinking we might just watch a little bit more of this. I see there's more commentary. I want to get to the next video where he gets confronted by the by another streamer who's much more normal, and will make us feel a little better about watching this.
I'm cooking. I'm making a meal. Okay, we're out. That's it.
And this is all just footage that Atozy found after the fact of knowing he was in trouble, and then he went and rounded up this extra stuff. So,
Sir, how are you? He's order. Let me see what the I just cooked.
Yeah, I know he said he was going to pay for it there, but I didn't see him pay for it. But overall, I mean, he's somehow just lowered the bar from his past content. Like back in the day, Vitaly would harass minimum wage workers here in the US for content. Now, he's going to less privileged countries to harass their minimum wage workers for content. It's like he started falling down a staircase a decade ago, and he's still falling down that same staircase today. The dude took a 15-hour flight to harass strangers for content and ended up being locked up in an absolute nightmare jail. Apparently, the place that he's in is known as the Gulag.
Now, they call it the Gulag, an immigration detention center in the Philippines that has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Detainees claim the center is squalid, rat-infested, and overcrowded.
Right. Here's some more recent footage.
He's currently locked up in Camp Bagong Diwa, which isn't exactly a wellness retreat. It's overcrowded, undersupplied, and looks like something...
That doesn't look like where you want to stay. Can I have the big bay? This is the big bay. Can I have the small bay?
Something out of a post-apocalyptic horror flick. Think sweat, mildew, 30 guys to a cell, and about as much personal space as the inside of a sardine can.
30 guys to a cell. Jesus. I didn't even like summer camp. I think there was like 8 of us in a cabin. And it's like this. A lot of us all cooped up in here. 30 in one cell.
And this isn't a short stay. This isn't wait and holding overnight and post bail in the morning. Because there is no bail. That's right. Zero bail, zilch, nada. And no, it's not because someone forgot to process the paperwork. It's because he is considered a flight risk, a foreigner with no strong ties to the country other than a criminal record forming in real time. The authorities aren't taking chances. He's staying put.
And I guess what makes this just so incredibly ironic is apparently he wanted to go to jail.
Nobody controls me. If I go to jail, I'll go to jail. I'm a grown man. But you, I respect you. I am coming down. I am. I'm going to go eat. I'm having fun with the chat. I know what I'm doing. It's not my first rodeo. And I'm not going to say, oh, don't arrest me. Here's the money. I will go to jail. I'm a proud man. I love jail. I get it up there for free. I don't have to pay.
So remember, it's pizza, then French fries.
Super fries.
Pizza and French fries.
All right. First, we're going to address the commercial, the pizza French fry thing, because I live near a ski hill. And the funniest thing is when you hear parents that are teaching their kids, because they will teach them, you want a pizza when you need to slow down, and then French fry when you want to go fast. So you hear parents that have lost their kid that's going too fast. Pizza! Pizza! They're trying to ski as fast as they can to a kid that's like out of control going, yeah. They French fried when they should have pizzaed. Before that, I was going to bring up criminology. Cowboy Criminology brought up Michael Fay, and the name didn't ring a bell, but I put it up in chat, and Billie Jean looked it up. He's the guy who got caned. So that was part of his punishment, fucking around, finding out in a foreign country. But to make an example of an American, I'm sure, he got publicly caned. And I think The Simpsons made fun of that by having, when Homer caused a problem with Australia, they had him like, well, we've narrowed it down to one kick in the boot, or one kick in the butt with an oversized boot. Anyway, let's see what Atozy has to say now that we've taken us on 3 tangents.
Come on, dude. I mean, he made his own bed here. And I still don't even understand why he did all this. There's so much content of his streams when he's out in the Philippines where he's actually being a great guy, giving away phones and shoes to not so fortunate people. But still, he decided to do all of this.
That's another aspect of the kick streaming. So he's on there, and all these kick streamers that are top, they stream every aspect of their life. So there might be periods where they've only got, 5 or 6 people on the stream when they're, waking up and brushing their teeth and stuff. And they try and ramp up to these, big numbers at some point in their day. The most recent high profile one that I know of, the son of Rampage Jackson, he's a UFC fighter. He was doing a kick stream where he got into a bit of a beef with a wrestler backstage at a show. He took it more seriously, and his kick streamers started just pounding him in the chat with like, you pussy, you gonna let that wrestler do this? You're a UFC fighter. It wound him into such a frenzy that by the time the show started, the promoter of the wrestling show said, hey, we'll work in an angle where, that little dust up backstage will be part of the show. And, so you'll jump into the ring and, give him a couple of shots and, that'll be your revenge. Anyway, live on stream, he's telling his stream, I'm going to kick this guy's ass. I'm going to go in there. They're not going to be able to pull me off of him. And he lifts up this guy, slams him to the mat, and, UFC pounds the fuck out of him. He's knocked out before he even, from the first power suplex move. And Rampage's kids team is filming it. It's a literal, it's an assault that could have ended in a death. The guy lost a lot of teeth. He was messed up. He had to stay in hospital, stable but serious condition, I think, immediately after. Anyway, and this was all this kick streaming thing again. So it's people in his chat just got him riled up, and he didn't want to. Well, there's other issues he's got too, but I've never heard any good stories coming out of Kick.
This, on top of that, why wouldn't he just still keep his streams at being a nice guy, giving away to the less fortunate, and just...
And that's the other... So, yeah, in a long stream, he might start the day by building up his karma by, showing him handing out sneakers or whatever. And maybe that's only getting him, you know, hundreds of viewers instead of thousands. But it's what he can claim. Like, look at the big picture. I did good. I did bad. I'm up. I'm down. But just why not just make the content the good content? Well, because you're not getting the viewers. Why care what the assholes want to watch? Let other people make content for assholes.
Just continue making content without harassing random locals, and he wouldn't have been in jail right now. He wouldn't be banned on Kick, and he wouldn't be facing decades in prison in Philippines. It's like, dude, you were almost there. You were on the right path. Watching some of the clips of him actually being positive, it's good content. It's actually not bad at all. But then, right after he gives away some phones, he immediately goes out and starts harassing people. It's like, dude, you're almost there. But for some reason, I guess he had the urge to where he thought that the only way he would gain a viewership is if he harassed strangers.
Exactly. Let's just skip
We're on
to the
holiday
next.
with MSC Cruises in the Caribbean.
Never been on a cruise.
Like we're in Europe.
I've been up and down about it. I remember the
If they charge him
norovirus
with
thing
this,
kind of put me off of cruises, and then COVID was like, you know, there won't ever be cruises again, and then they were super cheap, where it was like, oh, that seems too cheap, it can't be good. I don't know. Thought about going on a cruise, so from where I am in BC, the easiest cruise is to go to Vancouver and then go up the Inside Passage to Alaska. So it's not a, you know, stay out on the deck sunny days cruise, but you get some really beautiful views going up the inside, because there's a whole, you don't have to take the wide open ocean. You're basically navigating between the islands and the coastline. So yeah, I've heard it's really nice and affordable for someone in my region. Just taking a quick break in chat. Let me just scan through to make sure this is the video I'm looking for. Oh, okay, no, this is a really long interview with a local Filipino that kind of is breaking down what this case means in the legal system. That's not the one I'm looking for either, so we'll skip to the last one.
This scumbag IRL streamer just got humbled.
I love how he starts each one. This scumbag IRL streamer. ASPD, that would be antisocial personality disorder, I believe, if I know my acronyms right. Oh, has the video, okay, I guess the video is loud enough because no one's complaining. I noticed that I have the volume way down, but I think I had to do that because my source volume is incredibly loud compared to my ambient mic volume. So if there is any problems with the stream being quiet, let me know. There's lots of room for me to, well, not the stream, but when I'm showing Atozy's videos, if they're quiet, let me know. If they're balanced, then we'll just leave it as it is. Let's look ahead in this stream. Must be this stream, right? I don't know. Let's watch this beginning. We'll see what happens.
Prison system. The dude essentially went from begging to get put into prison to begging to get released in the span of a few months.
And I'm not going to say, oh, don't arrest me. Here's the money. I will go to jail. I'm a proud man. I love jail.
Honestly, it's just sad at this point. I feel like everyone with a working brain knows to not to fly to the Philippines and live stream themselves committing a bunch of crimes. But I guess for Vitaly, he had to learn the hard way. Because let's be real, if you did this in the Western world, you would get a slap on the wrist and be out on bail now until you inevitably had to pay some sort of fine or serve a couple months.
Sorry, completely off topic, just responding to the chat, but Pineweaver says that a cruise is her personal, or his or her personal nightmare. I'm an introvert and a naturalist. Alone in the woods is my dream. There's a place, I guess, 300 miles inland from Vancouver, along the Washington, BC border, called Rock Creek, and they've built, I don't know if you'd call it a campground. They've got orbs that are like, you know, little personal retreat orbs. So you can sit in your orb in the trees like a tree house and be one with nature. You know, there's other orbs, people doing their own thing, but they're private and separate. You're not like orb to orb next to each other. But yeah, I've seen ads for that coming up on my feed too, because I'm interested in that sort of thing. So little ad for the Rock Creek. I like to call it orbs. It's a getaway, relaxation. I don't know. If you look up those kind of words, you'll probably be able to find it on the internet. If you're that interested, ask me about it and I'll do a separate segment on it. I'll do 10 minutes at the end or something like that.
Months in jail. A little bit of community service maybe, but that's about it. But clearly, acting like this in the Philippines gives you a whole different set of results. If you don't know, Vitaly is a Russian-American YouTuber and creator who was once one of the largest channels on YouTube and was also one of the pioneers of pranks on the internet. Fast forward a few decades, and I guess his extreme poor decision-making has just slowly destroyed his life throughout the year. Random wallet.
Sorry. Oh my God.
Some things in life are worth paying for, like protecting your family from online
address. And it's just sent to your IRL server. And also what's crazy is, like, even if you're new to the story, you can imagine how this turned out, because from the images released of him recently, you can see that this situation has definitely taken a toll on him. So now he's in the custody of the BJMP. BJMP stands for the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. This is the government agency of the Philippines that's responsible for supervising city district and municipal jails. So in this case, their main job is placement and handling of Vitaly until he's fully charged. So clearly Vitaly might be figuring out what the hell is what am I yapping about? Vitaly is living out what might be the biggest find out moment ever seen on the internet. Because I mean, with all this going on with these IRL streamers, I'm starting to think it's like some new meta that I haven't even heard about, nor do I even understand, where we have both Vitaly and Johnny fighting for the title of whoever can spend the most time in a foreign prison. And I guess they're just doing this out of the love of the game of being locked up and for, you know, a little bit of online attention. It's kind of crazy to think like another human being can actually relate to his situation. But going back through the timeline, as of June 16th, we've hit this turning point where his transfer away from the immigration detention center to the new jail. And if you recall my previous coverage, the immigration detention center Vitaly was in wasn't exactly the Ritz-Carlton. Apparently, the place that he's in is known as the Gulag.
Now, they call it the Gulag, an immigration detention center in the Philippines that has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Detainees claim the center is squalid, rat-infested, and overcrowded.
Right.
There's no good gulags. It's like, oh, this is very nice for a gulag. Like, there's bad and worse.
Here's some more recent footage.
He's currently locked up in Camp Bagong Diwa, which isn't exactly a wellness retreat.
I can't even begin to imagine how awful that place is. I don't think rodents ever want to be there. I mean, well, actually, they're probably attracted to that area. But still, no human being would ever want to be there. And that's just the immigration detention center. So what are the jails like? Well, Vitaly's about to experience conditions that make his time in the immigration detention center look like a hotel stay. The Philippines jails, especially places like Manila City Jail and Quezon City Jail, are packed way beyond capacity. The Manila City jail dorms are designed for 170 people, but house around 500. And to put that in perspective, it's the same thing as having a 4-seater car but cramming 12 people in it, which is just absolutely outrageous. 75% of inmates in this jail are pretrial detainees, so Vitaly could be stuck in this hell for months, maybe even years, without a formal conviction. And to make things worse, the average pretrial detention for the Philippines is 9 months. But the backlog here could push this back even further. Oh, and don't forget, he could be facing up to 24 years in prison, meaning he's still got to do the actual time once he's through this process. And that's where things get pretty dark, because Vitaly is now exposed to the same brutal conditions responsible for thousands of inmate deaths per year. This isn't just like some symbolic move anymore. This is the Filipino government saying they're not going to tolerate this kind of behavior ever, no matter who you are, which is just another massive reason to say, why would you ever go to the Philippines to make this kind of content ever? They're essentially staying firm and making sure that Vitaly doesn't get to wiggle out of this with some legal loophole or public apology attempt or influencer sob story. We've seen his legal team ask for temporary release, promising that he wouldn't leave the national capital region, and they also made promises that Vitaly wouldn't dodge deportation. Essentially, they were like, we promise Vitaly won't commit another federal crime. And it seems like the Bureau of Immigration saw right through that, with the Immigration Commissioner Joel Anthony Villado making a crystal clear statement saying that we will not allow our deportation process to be undermined by publicity tactics or legal maneuverings.
Kind of like one of the things about watching all of these videos in a row is you see Atozy cleaning himself up. I'm sure if you're watching my content from the beginning to the end too, there's, oh, he shaved off everything and now I'm just slowly growing it back in. Like, okay, he's regressing back to his baseline.
Which I guess is just like a fancy way of saying, nice try, dude. Like, you're staying right where we can see you. I mean, the dude let some awful decisions take him from this like cushy millionaire lifestyle to a literal nightmare. And Villado also said, as we continue to support the Marcos administration's push to a stronger border security and law enforcement, the Bureau will ensure that foreign violators are held accountable, processed swiftly, and removed from the country as warranted, which essentially means that, hey, you have to go through all the criminal proceedings, serve your time, pay your fines, then we'll get you out of the country. So I guess now he gets to do this perp walk like that basically everywhere he goes instead of just for the media. And
I'm just going to go back a second. I think that's how we'll end our Vitaly coverage for today. I did want to get him. There we go. We'll end it with him on that. Where are we in the stream? We're almost 2 hours in. So this is like, I still have plenty of time for hockey tonight. I see it's 4:20 in my time zone. If anyone wants to think it's 4:20 somewhere, it's 4:20 here. So that's the excuse you need. Fire one up. We'll take a quick pause to do a little plug for next Friday night. We've talked about it already. Derek from Cowboy Criminology is joining me for a full Friday night ramble. It's going to be a little bit more on topic. We'll on Sarah Boone anyway. We'll definitely revisit his Sarah Boone coverage, his reaction to my reaction to his reaction videos. Yeah, we'll keep it meta there. But also one angle that we think we can do together that would be great. The entire Sarah Boone trial, all of that's good public domain footage. I've never personally reacted to it. Like I was in the chats and, reacted with everyone else there. But never as a streamer have reacted to any of the trial. And with Derek taking law school, he's got whole new perspective on some of the legal maneuvering, and he hasn't seen the trial. He's seen snippets of the trial, but I was telling him, like, for example, that Sarah had more videos on her camera, and those videos came up on day 4 and kind of showed that any idea that it was mutual back and forth, it was like all back, no forth. It was anyway, he was blown away a bit by that. So I think it's going to be quite interesting to watch the trial with him so that he can get fully up to speed with the Sarah Booneverse, and then slowly I'll get up to speed with the plethora of criminals that he's aware of, and together all of us will be that much wiser, compensating for any brain cells we lost tonight by watching Vitaly. So there is all of that to look forward to. This is going to be the Friday night. It'll be an evening ramble. I'm thinking tentatively 10 or 11 Eastern time. Yeah, 10 or 11 Eastern time. I think I might have said 9 or 10 earlier, but 10 or 11 is already sounding better. I work 3 days a week on overnight shifts or 12-hour shifts, so Wednesday morning I'm feeling a bit goofy and full of ideas, and Thursday morning is when I can really settle down to, okay, I can do this at 6 p.m., I can do this at 9. So I don't like to make plans before then because I really don't know what I'm doing one week to the next. But if I wait till Thursday to lock in, so basically if you're trying to be a Dan D viewer, check out my channel on Thursday. Look at the community tab. I'll probably say something about at least when the morning show starts. In the morning show, I'll probably talk about when the evening show will be. And that's how you can stay up to date. I can't do scheduled streams in this software. Or maybe I can. I just don't know how. So if I could, I would. But I can't. So I'm not. What else do we need to know? We could go into some Johnny Somali coverage, which I am one of the dumbest. Yeah, that's perfect. ADJ Farside, that could be super late, but then are you a West Coaster? Because then the morning stream might be more your time zone. For the most part, I'm trying to do these streams as much like a live show, so that they can be enjoyed on a replay. I don't want it to just be a slow pace back and forth with the chat where anyone who's reading it and doesn't know what the chat's saying can't enjoy any of it. So that's why I sometimes take the extra time to read every chat message before I respond. And Past Perfect Pam just got here. What did she miss? So let's see how I can summarize the first 2 hours. Oh, this will actually be fun. This will be how I do it. Pam, you missed the beginning. where we did mic checks. Then I talked about the polls that are on my community tab. There's a member who's trying to get a new handle. We've come up with a sweet 16 of names, and we're whittling it down to the final 4. There's 4 polls to vote in. Make sure you get your vote in, whether not compos mentis, scoundrel detective, a lot of good ones there. Then we did Vitaly, and Vitaly he's annoying, he's inane, and he fucked around and found out in the Philippines. So there's we watched some really annoying coverage of his just so that we could enjoy the comeuppance. If there's any we lost a few brain cells watching his stupidity, but we got a little enjoyable karmic bounce back when we got to see him being humbled. And there's more of that to come, so I think we might start. Maybe I'll just do like one video at the end when we're having fun at the end of a stream, now that I've introduced you to Vitaly. And that brought us to where we are now. We were talking about possibly doing no, it's not where we are. Pam, you missed, I did a book interview with Derek Judd from Cowboy Criminology. He's going to join the show next week. You just missed me talking about that. But next week, it's going to be me and Derek for the whole Friday Night Ramble. We may even have a third guest in. Fingers crossed. Yeah, with that's like I'm lying. No, fingers crossed, third guest. Don't want to announce anything if the guest is not able to be here. But next Friday should be a jam-packed show. And now we're going to watch Johnny Somali, who's, I think, more annoying than Vitaly. So, and the reason we're watching these guys is because they're narcissists. They think they're better than everyone, and they're decidedly average at best, maybe below average. So, okay, so Pam is going to rewatch, so I didn't need to do that, but she can just catch it all up on the rewatch. It's nice when you just join a stream and someone takes the time to give you a full catch-up. But that's where we are. Let's just... Atozy's really good about getting to it. He doesn't waste a lot of time at the beginning of his videos, so let's just see how he presents Johnny Somali.
Dumbest and most disrespectful streamers I've seen in a long time. The only one who really comes close to this would be Mizzy, who we've covered a couple times over the last couple of months. Well, the streamer we're talking about today decided to go to Japan and essentially insult the country and people living in the country for views and attention on his live stream. And eventually, this backfired tremendously on him, but we'll get into that later on in the story. But first, we have to go through the first event that put this moron on the map in the first place. This happened roughly 4 weeks ago when he went viral for saying this on the subway somewhere in Japan.
So just pause. So this is the origin story of Johnny Somali.
Japan.
Hiroshima, Nagasaki, you know what we do to you? Hiroshima, Nagasaki, we destroy it.
So if you can't hear exactly or understand what he's saying, it is an American streamer on the subway in Japan saying Nagasaki, 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 Hiroshima, Nagasaki. That's content.
Because you don't know how to behave. Wallahi, billahi, wa tallahi. I swear to God. You do again.
I'll just read the on-screen text for anyone who is not able to read it on a small screen. It says, live streamer Johnny Somali, who claims he started streaming after meeting Ice Poseidon a few months ago in Japan, returns to Japan from Thailand. He would usually post videos of himself on YouTube doing wild stuff, but soon saw views on his videos declining. He's since decided to start live streaming.
Again, we're gonna do again. You understand? You understand, Hiroshima?
See, what's actually kind of sad about this is starting to become a regular occurrence in the US, like especially in some of our largest cities. If you get on public transportation, it's not really a surprise anymore if there's some dude who's completely out of it, screaming insults and harassing anyone who looks in his direction. There's multiple differences though, because this guy's acting like this not because he severely needs help, but because he wants attention on the internet. And he's willing to harass others and just be a straight up burden to society for that little smidge of attention. I guess the other big difference here is, from what I know about Japan, the public transportation there is very safe and doesn't really have this problem like we're dealing with in some of our large cities here. Because let's be real, if this happened in New York City, that would just be a normal day. And I don't even think people would even take the time out of their day to give him attention.
Hiroshima, Nagasaki, you know. You know Hiroshima, Nagasaki. We're gonna do again.
What?
Hiroshima, Nagasaki.
Hiroshima, Nagasaki.
We do again.
I love the look of the guy on the subway. Just, oh yeah? Hiroshima, Nagasaki? That's what you're saying? Shouldn't have paused it because now we have to still watch the Wix commercial. If you're building a website, Wix will help you build them.
The word cuppa, as in cup of tea, I thought would be great.
That said, if you get one of these places to build your website, you look like everyone else's website, which is not what you want in a website. I guess unless you're Delapine Creative, and then, you know, anything's an improvement.
Great to mix with hug. When I saw the
You understand? You don't know. You know history.
What?
You know.
Why don't you sleep?
What?
Sleep a little bit.
Okay, what do you mean?
Where are you from?
You know where I'm from?
So very quickly, the power dynamic shifts. You see the Japanese guys stand up and like, where are you from? Where are you from? He gets confronted by an American guy. Oh, so one of these guys is just Japanese American, like Japanese descent, but quickly realized what Johnny Somali's trying to do. So the caption says, he gets confronted by an American guy who quickly saw what he was doing. The guy notices Johnny Somali live streaming and tells him to find better content.
Where are you from?
I'm from America.
You're from America?
Yes.
So am I.
You're from America?
Yeah, you're big obnoxious.
You know what we do to you?
What do you do?
We will do again.
Do what?
Hiroshima, Nagasaki.
I feel like there's going.
So he's even like playing accent with him, and the American has no accent. Like, you'll do what? Somebody in the chat says I say a boot. I don't think I say a boot. About? I think I'm more of an about, aren't I? Did I slip in a boot? I might have. No, the boots, that's really Eastern. They're all about the boot. We're more about the, you know, fucking A. Got that West Coast and a bit of Alberta thing happening here. Fucking giver, eh?
Going to be studies on how the desperation for social media attention has completely rotted the brains of many content creators. You guys have to be a whole new level of brain dead to believe this is a good decision in life to brag about two of the largest mass casualty events in human history.
So yes, you heard that right, Billie Jean. He said that Hiroshima, Nagasaki in Japan to be provocative. Like, I guess, you know, like coming to America as a Japanese person and going, Pearl Harbor, Pearl Harbor, Pearl Harbor.
Especially in the country where it happened. His career path is now limited, to say the least. He can keep streaming to the...
Kelly, I can't stand these guys, and yeah, we get it. The reason we're watching it is because I know in advance that there's a consequence. So these are older videos. They're about anywhere from 6 to 8 months old. So there's more recent info for both of these guys' cases. So I'm introducing you to some of the backstory, and we might start just watching, slowly catching up. But both of them are facing consequences right now. So if you can't wait, you can look in the current news and be pleasantly surprised that there's good news regarding both Vitaly and Johnny Somali.
The morons who are entertained by his behavior, but at some point, being disrespectful like this will either get stale or it's going to catch up to him in the worst way possible, which it already has started to do, which we'll get into later on in this video. But this interaction does become slightly funny due to how stupid the streamer is.
You understand?
Do you think I'm Japanese?
Where are you from?
I'm from America.
Where are you from? What's your ethnicity?
Texas, buddy.
What's your ethnicity?
Oh,
I'm Korean.
Don't mess with Texas. Texas, buddy. He's not fucking around at all.
Then sit down, brother.
Why don't you sit your ass?
Korean War, you know what happened to you?
Come on.
Korean War, you knew what happened. So he's in Japan right now, and this guy's American with no accent and from Texas. He's writing a lot of checks that his ass isn't going to be able to cash.
Don't touch me.
I'm obnoxious, brother.
Don't touch me, brother. Korean War, North Korean War, you know what we did to you.
Just calm down, bro.
You know what we do. CX, hashtag.
Hey, how many subs you have?
Bro, I'm at 1,000 subs right now.
Nice.
Cool. Sit down, brother.
How many subs you have? I'm at 1,000 right now. Nice. So he's doing all this for 1,000 subscriptions. Like, you know, not to brag, but I'm doing content I enjoy doing. I'm not pissing anyone off. Well, maybe Third Rail a little bit, but whatever. But yeah, doing what I want to do without breaking any laws, and yeah, got nearly the same subscriber count as Johnny Somali.
Enjoy.
At
I'm
this
just saying.
point.
He didn't
Sit down. He didn't do nothing to me.
He didn't do nothing to me. Yeah, we know you're harassing him. I love this Texan, like how he calmly tries to diffuse the situation and just avoids all of this dude's attempts to try to get some sort of reaction out of him. Bravo. And he even put the streamer in this position to lie because he's embarrassed to say he's doing this for 16 subscribers. But later
he's only got 16.
By a motorcyclist who saw his stream. And
oh no, it's 4,000. Okay, that makes more sense. He has 16 subscribers. I guess this is origin story, but fuck. What kind of standard are you setting for yourself? If that's what you're doing with 16 streamers, we can get it up to 30. I'll just, commit. This is just incredible. Okay, Johnny, you've got me.
it's safe to say his entire demeanor changed.
Okay, so this is another gig he does. Johnny Somali would put a Bluetooth speaker in his backpack, and people could tip him, and whatever, kind of like giving a super sticker, but when you tipped it, it would say whatever the audio phrase was. I don't think this clip is from that, but one of the things he did later was go to Israel, and one of the sayings was, "I have a bomb." And you see he's not a light-skinned individual, so to be walking around in Israel with a backpack saying, "I have a bomb," dum, 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 dum. I'll just read the caption before moving on. While on a phone call to his friends and live streaming, a local Japanese guy pulls up on his motorbike. He saw the clip of Johnny Somali being disrespectful. He tells him to repeat what he said about Pearl Harbor. I don't think he did say it. I'm the one who brought up Pearl Harbor. Fuck, can he hear me?
I don't say nothing. What? Nothing, bro. I don't say nothing. No.
But this is genuinely scary. Like, Japan, immediately I think of the Yakuza, and, you don't know who's in a gang, but they could pull up on a motorbike out of nowhere, and the next thing you know, it's not a country I'd want to go disrespecting and live streaming my location. I wouldn't want to do that anywhere.
I don't want to. What? Nothing. Nothing? Yeah, nothing. We good. Huh? We good.
You're not good. Another wasted opportunity. 5 seconds, no advertisement.
What? Nothing. Sabay. What? Sabay, nothing. No problem. There's no problem. There's no problem. What? No. What? No, we good. We chill.
This streamer is slowly becoming the...
So Johnny Somali has a few accents, but he can talk in just basic, normal American when he wants to or needs to.
poster boy of F around and find out. He would probably be disrespectful to the country in a subway with lots of cameras, but in an alley late at night, not so much. Now, I'm not saying I would be very tough late at night in a back alley, but I'm not walking around harassing people in their country for attention on the internet.
So we good. Come on, man.
Oh, the guy got off the bike.
No. Oh, I'm good. We good. We good. Oh, no. We good.
While in fear for his life, Johnny Somali keeps it moving. Look at that smile. He's still... He's not that scared for his life. That's another perfect pause. Well done, Dan D. Fuck you, Johnny Somali. All right. Comeuppance, where are you?
We good.
Dude is scared there might be a reaction to his actions, but he's trying his hardest to play it off like he's the cool guy on his stream. But then the biker confronts him again and I guess called the police on the guy.
It's a joke. What? Yeah, we're not playing, bro. It's a joke. Yo, he mad. What is he mad about?
There's his real accent there.
You want to fight me? No. I will go, please. Okay, so we have
Johnny Somali becomes apologetic and tells the biker it was a joke and he was paid to say what he said on the train. And yeah, technically he was paid to say it. He was probably getting, you know, a quarter of a cent per subscriber, so as much as a penny for that.
The piece or what?
Yeah, peace.
Peace, and then let's do a piece.
I want your reason. Why?
Somebody, okay. Somebody give me money.
No.
Somebody give me money, and they said, say it.
No.
So I said it on the train.
You say it? Yeah.
Somebody give me money.
Somebody?
You know, donation.
So who?
Somebody on YouTube and Twitch.
YouTube comment?
Yeah, YouTube comment, give me money.
No.
They say it.
No.
You understand?
Police show up and speak to Johnny Somali. Luckily for him, they tell him no criminal offenses were committed and he's free to go. Doesn't look that free, though. This guy doesn't look happy with him at all.
Right?
But it's not good.
It's not good. So what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
You want me to say sorry? Oh, the police is coming.
Yes.
You call police for me?
Yeah.
Really?
You shooting me.
Now, that said, this Japan story is a little frustrating because Japan kind of just lets him go. Like, nothing happens to him really in Japan. It's Korea where shit goes down. So if you want to skip ahead after this stream's over and see what's going on, look up Johnny Somali and Korea.
You take a shot.
I can record it. It's my face.
Yeah.
It's my face.
Yeah.
Overall, I mean, the biker kind of seemed reasonable. He didn't want to fight him. He just wanted to know why he was being this disrespectful to his country. Then the streamer responded to this interaction later on by saying this.
He was being racist for no reason. Who was I racist to? And how can I be black and racist? I mean, that's a...
How can I be black and racist? By being racist? Like, skin color does not preclude you from being racist. Like, I think every society has their own racism and even their own like caste system within the race where, you know, all brown people don't, you know, consider other brown people equal. Yeah, it's, how can I be racist and black?
Well, that was just pure deflection and no accountability. He's really highlighting his character on this stream. But he continues streaming in Japan and some random person showed up and punched him in the face, threw water on him, and then started yelling a bunch of racist remarks towards him. While I don't condone that, if you're harassing random people with racist remarks in public for your own content, don't be surprised if someone starts harassing you. But this altercation also got the police involved, and he went to the police station and told them what happened. I can't show you him getting punched, but I can show you the police interview clip.
He wants to take a...
Oh, where he hit?
This is... I need you to point where you hit.
You got hit right here.
I need to finger.
Oh, yeah. But what's interesting here is he tried to get the aggressor arrested for a hate crime.
Saying like racial slurs too. He was saying like monkey, all this stuff, all that many times. Well, it's on film. Like he was saying.
They take his statement and he is safely escorted back to his hotel.
So I don't know if Japan have a hate crime or something. I'm not sure.
There's clearly no excuse for the guy who attacked him and harassed him, but it's definitely ironic that he's trying to get him charged for a hate crime after what he did on the subway. Definitely being very hypocritical. But just a few days later, while he was walking around live streaming, someone grabbed him from the throat from behind, and you hear him getting choked out. His phone hits the ground, someone else grabs his phone, and then the stream ends. Which is nothing short of horrifying. For obvious reasons, I can't show that clip here, but I can only imagine this man regrets insulting Japan for his own clout. He does seem to be fine though, as he's still streaming, but he hasn't had another incident being disrespectful in the country that he's traveling to since that happened to him. So there's a takeaway from this video: don't harass people in public for attention on social media. And if you want another insane story, this TikTok dad faked
that. If people have ever asked what a Caesar is, wondering what a Canadian Caesar is, that is a hardcore Caesar. They're like an appetizer at some bars. They'll like put so many different things on skewers so you get like, well, there's a whole chicken there. You might put a chicken wing. Yeah, it's a pretty intense Caesar, but that's. Oh, and this is an ad for No Frills. So this is our cheap grocery store, and I guess the ad is implying that things are so cheap that there's no end to items that you can put into your Caesars. Olives. Now, personally, I'm an asparagus or pickled bean guy, so, but I don't need all of this. Some restaurants, though, will put a prawn on there, and then they can charge you like $20 for a Caesar instead of, you know, the $8 to $10 that you'd expect to pay.
No frills. Yes, saving.
Well, the other month I covered a streamer who went to Japan and essentially disrespected the
Okay, so that was this is a month later. Okay, take a quick peek at the chat, see how you guys are doing. Dorgan's here. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, he's a cry bully. Exactly, Billie Jean. Okay, so Johnny Somali was trying to use a little Thai to get out of his Japanese conundrum by saying sabai, sabai. We're good. It's all good. Sabai, sabai. So he probably just got back from Thailand and learned that as a escape word. All right. Let's just have a quick peek through this stream to see which one this is. Okay, so it's still got the Texan. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's a fine screen. Is that a cutscene from Grand Theft Auto? Or Scarface, the video game? I'm not sure.
Yakuza got involved.
Oh,
Essentially,
it's from the video game Yakuza.
chased him out of Japan. And I don't think the Yakuza has ever chased an influencer out of Japan before, so that makes things pretty interesting. I've been piecing together these clips from re-uploads of his streams for a while now, so if it's not in perfect order, let me know in the comments down below, but I did my best on this. But we'll start with the story as I know it. But the whole story starts off with this streamer on Kick. He essentially gained the attention of many people on the internet because nobody had seen someone be this disrespectful for some basic level attention. And
don't worry, A to B, we're sticking with them. There's comeuppance coming. I'm not going to leave the stream until we get there. I'll even skip ahead if we can't, but there'll be something. There's going to be some consequences, but he's still facing them is the important part. So it's not like we're just going to see him get arrested here 6 months ago and then you go look online and he got let out a week afterwards. The story stays good.
In Japan. This was the original clip that made him go viral.
Hiroshima, Nagasaki, you know what we do to you? Hiroshima, Nagasaki.
So the guy in the blue shirt there is a Texan.
We destroy it because you don't know how to behave. Wallahi, billahi, wa tallahi. I swear to God. You do again, we're gonna do again. You understand? You understand, Hiroshima?
I said this in my last video on him, but I'm still baffled at how brain dead you have to be to believe this is a good decision to make in life. To brag about two of the largest mass casualty events in human history and the country where it happened. He's definitely deserving of the Influencer Hall of Fame of morons. But he does continue on until a random Texan gets secondhand embarrassment from him and asks him why is he doing this in the...
If you see the next video, there's the thumbnail. He ruined his life. Should we skip ahead? I think we should skip ahead. But first,
just going for a break.
A word from Kit Kat.
The streamer that we're talking about today just found out his own actions actually have consequences. He went viral a couple months back when he flew out to Japan to essentially just disrespect the culture and the people of the country for attention on his stream. It was clear from the start that this guy was just so desperate for attention that he was going to self-destruct by either getting in trouble with the law or getting hurt. And the latter quickly happened because he was punched in the face multiple times in the street after he repeatedly did the disrespectful actions. Then, of course, he had the police called on him multiple times. He had various bikers pull up on him and even a YouTube group of Japanese influencers. I'm very unsure on what actually happened there because there was some rumors that some of those guys were associated to the Yakuza somehow. But either way, someone scared him enough to make an apology and flee Japan. And from there on out, it seemed like the situation was over. Maybe he actually learned his lesson. But if he did, I wouldn't be making this video because as soon as he got away from Japan, he instantly started dissing Japan and the Japanese people over and over again on his streams. Essentially, he was just proving to the world that he was a coward and he would still do anything for attention. But I guess as all the hate he received calmed down, he assumed it was safe for him to return to Japan and continue his antics. And now it seems like he severely regrets that decision because as soon as he showed up, there were multiple videos of him being punched by random people. But on his last stream in Japan, he opened it claiming he was being by the police.
I was a little bit late. Thank you. That's why I started the live stream because I am currently being, as you can see behind me, look. I'm being
But as the stream went on and the police continued to follow him, he started testing it a bit.
I've been getting followed for I literally started the stream. Look at the timer on the stream. It's 3 minutes. Leg it, just run. You can't just run. Should I walk backwards, guys? Should I walk back?
I gotta admit, he does have a great set of teeth. Like that's a. It almost looks like a set of dentures that you put over top of existing teeth. They're so big.
Yo, he just followed me. Walk backwards. Walk backwards. Look, he stopped. Look, he stopped. He stopped. He stopped. Yo, what the?
So it seems like the officer's just following him and waiting for backup. But every time he went around a corner, he was hoping the cop was going to stop following him.
Let's see, is he gonna keep following me? Yo, what the is going on? He's been following me since the live started.
Clearly, his wish was not granted, so he switched up his tactic and tried to talk to the officer.
Hello? Hello? Hello, sir? Hello? 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 I just letting him know I can see him. Yo, this is... Follow him. I'll try to follow him. Try to follow him. I'm gonna stop, then he stops.
Ah, the follower becomes the follower.
At this point, I would assume that he's probably recognized that he's messed up severely, but if he didn't then, he will now because backup arrived.
And he's still outside right here. Oh, whoa, even backup.
You need to go outside, Lola? You need to go outside? Well, you can hear something outside, eh? Now the dog doesn't know if it's time to stay here with me. There she is over my shoulder. Or go explore the noise downstairs. Why don't you go downstairs and have a peek and come back up and tell me. Tell me who's here. All right.
Back up. What's up, you guys? Hello, what's up? What's going on?
It's also a good thing if you're a criminal and you're being followed by one police officer and you're planning to run, that's your time to run. Don't wait until backup comes. From what I'd understand, you're not supposed to engage with a suspect on your own. Like, it's just too dangerous. So you're way better to just stay within observation room of that person until you have some support.
What is going on? Oh my god.
Very effective with the bicycles.
Passport? You need my passport? Check. Police check? No problem. Daijobu. Thank you. Daijobu, guys. I'm Black Monkey Luffy. Japanese moody. What? English. You're English?
That's another thing. I couldn't imagine streaming through an encounter with police in any country. Like my own country, if I was across the border, if I was in, the nicest country in the world, whatever, if the police were coming to talk to me, let me shut this stuff down. Hey, what can I do for you?
Please, yeah. Thank you, guys. Yeah, no problem. Daijobu. Yeah, Daijobu. Google Translate.
Dude says Daijobu the way Sarah says not intentional.
Can I talk to you guys? What is the bag? What is the bag for? What is that for? What? My passport? You want to check what?
From what I've read about this, they didn't arrest him earlier because they were compiling evidence against him. And this guy was just dumb enough to F around in Japan for almost another month after returning.
Do you know how much I love you?
I have no idea. You love me a full thing of Chippets?
The Chevrolet Bolt is back with huge tech upgrades.
This is textbook definition of F around and find out. But the police had him empty all of his belongings into a bag. And it seems like he realized he was cooked when they wouldn't give him his phone back.
Can I have my phone first? Give me telephone number, please. Give. You can't hold my phone hostage till I give you my number. Telephone number, please. Telephone number? No. You want my Japanese number? Okay. 0. You want my Japanese number? Japanese number? No number. Let me see. It's on this phone. You can't hold my phone. Can I have my phone, please? I need to look.
No
my
phone.
Number.
And then the detectives show up.
You're a detective. Who, you? These are detectives. I'm going to call Joe Biden. Oh, no, they captured me.
Quick poll for chat. How many people think Joe Biden gave a shit about this at the time?
Please listen to me. Joe Biden? Gage Cullen. Who? Gage. Who are these guys? Who's
I think he's more likely to get help from Joe Budden than Joe Biden.
sent these guys? Kashida? Kashida sent these guys? Yo, somebody call Joe Biden. Somebody call the U.S. Embassy right now.
Please, be quiet.
Dude went from having like 1 officer to 12 police officers real quick. But then they put someone on the phone who actually spoke English to him.
What's that? Are you a translator?
So it was hard to hear what the warrant was for, so here's what the Japanese media are currently saying. Johnny Somali, whose real name is Ismail Ramzi Khalid, is suspected for trespassing on a hotel.
Ismail Ramzi Khalid. I guess that's why I would go with Johnny Somali if that was my name too. Call me Ishmael.
Construction site in Osaka on August 30th. The 23-year-old suspect is believed to have been filming his actions and streaming the footage online. The intruder was masked, but police identified him from the online footage, as well as images captured by security cameras. Officers arrested him on Thursday in the city's Dotonbori area. The suspect is known for have repeatedly made mocking remarks about the atomic bomb cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He also engaged in other offensive acts across Japan and broadcast these actions online. Since last month, he's also repeatedly been spotted making videos at bars and restaurants in Osaka without permission. Police are currently looking into his actions. But continuing with the arrest footage, they ripped his camera away from him.
Stream's over.
Yo, free Somali. Hashtag free Somali.
And then the realization of what's actually happening probably kicked in. He started panicking.
Free Somali. Can I speak to a lawyer? Can I speak to the embassy? Somebody call the embassy. Mods, call the embassy. Mods, call the embassy. Call the embassy, guys. Mods, call the
I
embassy.
don't care.
Call the embassy, mods. Call the embassy. Call the embassy. Free Somali. Free Somali. Call the embassy, man.
The stream then ended with Japanese police trying to figure out how to turn off the stream. So it's safe to say this man cooked himself. But to give an example of how cooked this man currently is, Japan has a 99.8% conviction rate. The high rate is apparently due to prosecutors only pursuing cases they are confident they can win, which is most likely why it took so long for them to arrest him. But then this absolute moron decided to return to Japan, F around, and break the law while streaming it for the entire world to see. How dumb can you be? I guess he was just dumb enough to think that nothing would ever happen because he did it for an entire month a while back. So I guess that just secures him a spot in the Hall of Fame of morons. And to make things even worse for him, the Japanese Penal Code states that trespassing on another person's property is punishable by up to 3 years in prison or a fine up to 100,000 yen. Trespassing includes illegally entering a residence, building, or ship. Then to add on top of that, he was not cooperating with the police. They might throw an indecent exposure charge in there as well for a part that I couldn't show on this video for obvious reasons. Then to make things even worse, under Japanese law,
you can totally see him showing his ass, yeah. I see in the chat there's a little discussion, the word dumbarse was used, and Kelly used it just so that she didn't have to say ass. And it's funny how the same words that, you know, like, oh, this will be the nicer version of that, can be like kind of foul in the next person's language. So as a Canadian, there's a lot of British sayings like, well, fanny. I think, for as far as I know, the fanny is the butt, and to say fanny is just like, you know, kick in the butt, like, you know, oh, somebody needs a kick in the fanny. But I think to a Brit, a kick in the fanny is a kick in the cunt. I think, but there's a few words that just don't have. The meanings are either more or less severe back and forth across the pond. Yeah, no, I've decided, Kelya, that I'm not trying to stream. Basically, I think YouTube has an algorithm that reads everything, like basically listens to every video and puts all the words together, and, you know, they know how much you're swearing on the stream. And if you're swearing a lot, you're not going to get promoted out the same way that they would with family-friendly content. I almost want that to be a self-limiting filter, so the only people who are getting my videos are people who don't mind hearing the odd bad word every so often. I try to avoid using it in the first 5 minutes or so that my personality can grow on you before I start. Can I curse? Please? Yeah, like a fanny pack. Although that said, that should have been the first clue that a fanny isn't the butt, because most people wear the fanny pack around the front, right around the crotch area. So that's where that should have been my first clue, that the fanny pack. Yeah, anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Just wanted to check in with the chat. We're probably getting near the end of this stream too. Let's see. I see. Oh, it's only 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock my time. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, and that somewhere is here. It's funny though, that's another expression. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Like, no, only on the hour and maybe on the half hour in some territories, but it's only 48 times in a day that it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So anyway, that's a mini rant. Let's take a look. I want to get to Korea, so let's skip ahead because that one's Japan.
Scotties, you know. But even
Scotties is a good paper company.
Scotties Ultra
Oh, it's a
Soft.
cute dog too. Love the dog.
Once upon a time, a complete moron IRL streamer thought it was a good idea to go to Japan and essentially just harass the Japanese people for content. And eventually that backfired tremendously.
Let's go to He's in prison for a long time. That seems like a good one to go to if we're going to close out from Johnny Somali. We've been going for about 2.5 hours, so yeah, we'll see this video entitled "He's Going to Prison Forever."
I'm part of this is never getting out, bro. They told me to take his clothes.
That's the friend who was filming the IRL streamer that ruined his life in Japan by disrespecting the...
That's... I love his reaction. Like, they told me to take his clothes, man. He's in trouble. Love that he, I'm just a hired filmmaker. I have nothing to do with this.
Culture for attention on the internet. This streamer spent roughly 1 month testing the limits of Japan for content until he was scared out of Japan and fled for a month. But then his views went downhill massively, and clearly he was desperate to get his numbers back up. So he made the dumbest decision of his life and returned to Japan with the friend that we just saw. And that friend becomes very relevant in today's story, because once they arrived in Japan, they went right back to testing the limits of the Japanese social norms and law. And unfortunately for them, because of how disrespectful they were, the police were building a massive case.
That is a big fucking microphone. Fuck, I have mic envy now. I don't have a microphone, so I definitely should. I have a headset. I don't think... Holy fuck, that's a microphone.
Against them. And because they live streamed every single crime they committed, that made it very easy for police to compile everything.
It's almost like he's got genitals for a mouth, the way that mic covers his face like this. Like if you're watching a TV show where they have to blur out the questionable bit. It's almost like he's got a Peter Griffin chin with balls on it, so they've had to censor out the... Okay, I'm getting a bit goofy.
Everything against them. So both these guys ended up getting arrested. Johnny's now facing years in a prison work camp where he has to potentially work to pay off the victims affected by his actions. And his friend was facing a similar but weaker sentence until suddenly he's out of jail. But he's still in Japan and live streaming, and he believes his friend is going to spend a long time behind bars, which raises a lot of questions because one would think if he's out of jail, wouldn't he be thrown out of Japan? Unless maybe he's testifying against his friend in the upcoming court case. Who knows, though? That's all speculation. But this is how he opens up the first live stream about the situation Johnny and him got into after being released from jail.
Let's just say it's not good.
He then says his side of the story.
Okay, so here's what happened. The police called me. They had my phone number somehow. And they're like, yo, we need you to come down to the station for questioning. I'm like, okay, chat, I should be fine, right? They only want me for questioning. They're not gonna arrest me, right? Me being a dumbass. I said, okay, so let me go ahead to the station. And that's when y'all had seen me start up my stream. I started up my stream and I went outside and I was finna head to the station. Yes, I went like a dumb. I should have, bro, my mom, I don't even want to say this on live because the police might be watching.
Dude, the police are watching. This is still an active investigation. The trial hasn't even started yet.
Yeah, so they called me up. I went out the hotel. And I started walking towards the police station. There's 3 waiting outside. They're not in the outfit. They're in like normal outfits.
And then we had the clip that we covered in my last video on the situation of him being arrested. But then he gives us some information about Johnny.
It's no joke, bro. I can't imagine what Johnny Somali is going through right now. I can't imagine what this is going through. I'm trying to tell you. Oh my God, bro. But I can't imagine what he's stuck in there for so long.
Johnny successfully played himself. He made an entire country hate him while broadcasting himself committing crimes over and over again in this country while saying nothing's gonna happen. Dude, of course they're gonna throw the book at you.
So I've mentioned his playmat before, but this bit of a close-up, you can see just behind his head, it actually says Atozy. It kind of looks like the Springfield map, but it's a custom baby playmat that he has for his channel, which I think is a super cool little merch option.
The dude literally asked for it, and here we are.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. Every night I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I'm like, bro, these Japanese trying to teach us a lesson. These trying to put us away for life. These is not trying to let us go.
When you realize your actions actually have consequences. But then he explains how prison's like there.
As y'all know, in the Japanese system, they have investigators coming every single day, investigating you for, I think it was around 5-ish to 8-ish hours a day. You get investigated every single day. So y'all can understand how you're getting investigated every single day. You're sleeping on a little thin tatami mat. The tatami mat is probably this thick. You're eating obento boxes. I mean, a little bit of y'all know, somebody probably knows what a obento box is. But a obento box is something like this. It's like a box. It's a food, and it's cold food. It's cold little portion food built for Asian. Americans don't get full off that.
So the question they should be asking themselves is, was all of this worth the views and attention? But he's still in complete denial.
We're going to see what we could have did differently here.
How about you don't trespass? It's not rocket science. What?
All right. I just received word that Suma has gone live. I appreciate everyone who stuck around in my live, but I don't like to double book, and if there's other creators that the audience we share are going, I'm going to I think shut this down a little soon. If you were with me before, we did a 15-minute intermission with the cowboy criminologist. I'm going to replay that interview, so if you've already seen it, you're welcome to go and visit Suma's stream now. Say hi for me. Yeah, it's about a 15-minute thing. I do interview with Derek Judd, who will be joining us next Friday for the Friday Night Live. Lola's back. You investigated everything? Everything's good? You want to come up on the live stream and say goodbye? Here we go. There's Lola. Lola came up to say goodbye to everyone. Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? We're going to set up the interview. If you stay to watch it, that's cool. If you've already watched it, that's cool too. The cans are for me to make noise with. The cans are for me. I won't be doing I guess could come back and say goodbye. Yeah, I'll come back and say goodbye. But I'm going to set up this to play. We're going to come back to Vitaly and Johnny in smaller doses in the future, but I just wanted to introduce both of those characters to you so that we could have more fun watching their downfall. Thank you for sticking with me. You guys are all the finest. I'm Dan D. This isn't the end of the stream. This is the penultimate video, or penultimate part of the stream. The ultimate part is coming up. There we go. Hi, I'm Dan D. Dan D. True Crime. I'm here with Derek Judd. Derek Judd is the author of Monsters Have Always Walked Among Us. Derek, thank you for joining us.
Hey. Oh, thank you for having me, Dan. I appreciate it.
Cheers. Why don't you tell us a little bit about why you wrote this book?
So Monsters was kind of an interesting project to work on. When I was trying to decide whether I was going to go to law school or go back to school and get my PhD in criminology, Monsters started off as a doctoral thesis, like getting ahead of a doctoral thesis. but I had so much fun. I got so into the research, and there's such a want and desire for true crime. And I thought, this didn't need to be contained to just academia. This is something that really needs to be shared to kind of give a different perspective on why we think about true crime, how we think about true crime. And so that's
Lose Mike.
that's how it came about.
Okay. Oh, your audio improved significantly there too. Fantastic. One thing I noticed reading just the preface, and I only got this book a couple of hours ago. We opened it live on my stream. The connection to mythology, and it's something that I didn't think about when I think about true crime. I think mythology is the other end of the scale, but just in your short preface, you really tie the two together. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so, when we think about mythological monsters or superpowers, one thing or another, you have to understand that mythology, like anything else, like any other lie, fairy tale, fable, there's some element of truth in that. So something had to start the myth. And when you kind of trace your steps back and you start with what the myth is and work backwards to I call it playing the numbers in criminology. You look at a case, you look at a suspect, you look at one thing or another, and you work it back to what the most likely avenue was to get to that point. And with mythology, and even comparing the mythology and the monsters to serial killers, it was amazing how quickly and pronounced those distinctions became.
Interesting. Okay. Who would you say is the target audience for your book?
Wow. I've had people in academia look at my book and were impressed with it. I've had attorneys who have gotten my book and been just very impressed with the legal knowledge and the legal analysis that went into that. True crime people will enjoy it. Historians will enjoy it. I mean, it's really you kind of look, if you look at the cover, what monster do you see in that book? Yeah, what do you see? Do you see a vampire? Do you see a werewolf? Do you see a zombie? Do you see something else? The book, I think, applies to, or I think the book could appeal to just a very wide audience. It's not written specifically for anybody, any one group in particular. I think there's a lot of people who could get a lot out of it, but I think true crime people would probably get the most out of it because I think it could help them better understand their fascination with true crime, how we've come to recognize true crime. And there's a lot of different elements in that book that really kind of get rid of the background noise. And the tagline for my channel is getting to the truth behind true crime. Right. And I think this book is a great introduction to people who want to cut through that white noise and just get to like the heart of it.
Okay, great. And it seems like it's written both at a level that an expert in the field can appreciate and still accessible enough that your casual true crime reader can enjoy it as bedtime reading. A little chapter about a monster that sets you to sleep.
Right, yeah. That was the important thing. I wanted it to be accessible. I didn't want it to be so dry and academic that people outside of that environment would completely lose interest. But I wanted there to be enough scholarly citations and things like that people just, it's not just an opinion. It's not something I'm just pulling out of midair. These are actually sources you can cite, you can look to and go, oh wow, this is actually, there's something to this.
Okay. And getting to that, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and what expertise you're bringing?
So my background in in criminology started kind of at an early age. My grandmother was murdered in 1988. And I spent a lot of time thinking about what kind of person would do this to somebody who'd never done any wrong to them. And because I was a very shy, very reserved child, I spent a lot of time picking up on social interactions, human behavior, learning how to read people. And that kind of carried forward into wanting to know more about psychology. But for me, psychology was kind of boring. But forensic psychology, criminal psychology, abnormal psychology, oh, now we're getting into the fun stuff.
Okay.
And so I started working. I was originally doing new home construction in Las Vegas, Nevada. And when the market fell out of the housing boom, I came back to Texas. I was trying to find any work in construction. Nobody was hiring. I needed a job, so I started working at the prison. I started working in a maximum security prison. In my book, Monsters, I actually talk about my encounter with a serial killer in prison, a guy named Charles Albright. Very interesting case. But I became more and more interested in how people become criminals, how people get caught. And I became a police officer. I was always looking to expand my knowledge. And then I got my undergrad degree in criminal justice and my master's degree in criminal justice with a heavy concentration on criminology. And after that, I started putting all that to work for me and started to do a lot of independent study. And along with that, I've read, I've read probably most of the interviews that have ever been done with Robert Ressler, John Douglas, Roy Hazelwood. I have many of their books. I've watched a lot of their interviews because I think they're really onto something with their understanding of criminal behavior. And so that's kind of carried me forward. And, I teach criminal justice and criminology as an adjunct professor. So that's kind of wild. My students get a thrill out of watching my videos, and a lot of my students have purchased my book. I don't require that, of course, but they purchase it. So it'll be weird when I'm sitting in class and one of my students who doesn't really ever talk, flips through pages, and I'm like, your book's online, what are you looking at? And they're like, in your book you say, and they'll read off a line and everything, and I'm like, so I've actually started keeping a copy of my book near me when I start teaching, in case my students try to call me out on something, which is just really wild. But yeah, so I just combine my education, my experience, my training, and it's helped create Cowboy Criminology.
Yeah, no, that's a really unique combination to have, the streets experience, the law enforcement experience, the personal tragedy experience. So it's an incredibly unique perspective, and I think there's a lot of people who are interested in it. So if you're interested in it, tune in. Next Friday is Friday the 13th. There's a lot of monsters associated with Friday the 13th, and I think it'll be a great start for me and Derek to kick off a little discussion of the themes of his book. So thank you for being with me, Derek. I look forward to talking to you next week. Is your book available on Amazon?
It is available on Amazon, and I'll send you the link that you can post into your channel and on your chat.
Yeah, we'll look for it in the description, and it'll be a pinned comment underneath. Thank you for spending some time with me, Derek. I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.
Thank you so much for having me, Dan.
Cheers. I'm just going to take a minute to read from the preface of Derek Judd's book, Monsters Have Always Walked Among Us. If someone were to ask you what mythology is, how would you define it? Today's society relegates the well-known tropes of mythology to disproven or ancient religious beliefs. These stories become ingrained in everyday conversation, such as referring to a deadline as a Herculean effort, or discussing a woman so unattractive or strikingly beautiful that she will turn you to stone if you look her in the eye. The list goes on. I have always found the most accurate definition is that mythology is a way for people to explain the world around them. Mythology also serves the purpose of controlling social behavior. Today's scientists have done a remarkable job of explaining the world around us. But what of those things beyond explanation? Why do seemingly good people commit evil acts? Do people snap? Does evil possess them? And if so, is it because of this hostile possession that these poorly afflicted individuals react in a manner they never would? The mythology definition I offer the reader may be better understood if I ask you this. Think back to your childhood. How did a parent, sibling, loved one, or friend explain something to you? Was it reassuring and kind, or was it ominous and frightening? Thunder was the sound of angels bowling. Raindrops, they were the tears of angels. Freckles were kisses from an angel. What about Santa Claus, the rotund and jolly symbol as the bringer of toys under trees and stuffer of stockings at Christmas? Or his Scandinavian counterpart, Kris Kringle, who knows if you've been sleeping, when you are awake, and if you've been bad or good. If you are naughty, you'll get a lump of coal in your stocking instead of presents. Nowadays, we have an elf on the shelf that keeps sentry over children during the holidays and magically takes leave of the home every night to report on the children's behavior in the house. Of course, in some countries, St. Nick is accompanied by a mischievous companion that metes out disciplinary beatings to unruly children. Did you have trouble staying in your bed at night? Were you told a monster would snatch you by the ankles and pull you into your worst nightmare if you got up before sunrise? Were you warned about the monster that hid in the closets to keep you from snooping, or who would grab you and take you away from your family forever? Fearing the dark, when I was young, my dad would tell me, "There is nothing in the darkness that is not there in the light." While I'm sure he meant it to be reassuring, it still echoes in my ears on nights when I'm restless and cannot sleep. Nights when my imagination overrides my usually logical and well-reasoning mind. So, with that in mind, what we have discovered in our short time together is that mythology not only helps explain the world around us when we cannot fathom any other explanation, but we have seen firsthand that mythology can be used to control behavior by giving warnings of what befalls those that do not heed to the moral of the tale. Moreover, in that last sentence, we genuinely begin our exploration. Now, my little children, find a cozy spot, turn the lights down low. Let the light of the fire or lamp make these words glow. Take up your drink, smuggle down tight, and do your best to ignore what goes bump in the night. And first chapter is chapter 1, Serial Killer Origins. It's all right, Lola. Look forward to more of this with my discussion with Derek Judd. Hold on. We've got about 30 seconds left in the stream. Shh. Okay. If you guys stuck around this long, thank you so much. I got this from the Cowboy. Lola does not like Bucky the Ducky. This is Bucky. He's a duck. I got him from Derek. We'll be seeing more of Derek next week. Thank you. You're the finest. I'm Dan D. Not the dandiest, but just Dan D. You're fine. I'm Dan D. This is the end of the stream. Say hi to Suma and have a great